Two Atlantic League franchises with proud histories in the midst of trying seasons meet up here for a three-game weekend series at Clipper Magazine Stadium. Good evening, everyone. From 650 North Prince Street, the Lancaster Barnstormers taking on the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. The Barnstormers have hit the skids. They have dropped now 13 out of their last 15 games as the travel became difficult and everything is just piled up on this Lancaster ball club. They're looking for some kind of a break, some kind of an upswing over the next 10 days. The next 10 days are crucial for this Lancaster ball club. They need to be able to piece together a formula that's going to change things around and put them in competition in the second half. The same could be said for the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. The Blue Crabs have started to turn the corner. They're 5-5 in their last 10 games, and right now these two teams are in a virtual tie for third place, we're calling it euphemistically, in the Freedom Division of the Atlantic League. The Barnstormers are now 20-38. Southern Maryland is 21-39. Also important tonight is what the Barnstormers get out of Jonathan Albaladejo. He is likely to be a key piece in any kind of second half run for this Barnstormers team. He has not pitched since May 7th. He has been on the disabled list, still operating as the ball club's pitching coach, but he has not been able to actually chip in on the field of play. He gave up 9 hits and 3 walks in 4 innings against the Sugarland Skeeters in his last start. You could tell something was ailing him, and he has been shut down since. His mound opponent tonight, the only guy for Southern Maryland to have beaten the Lancaster Barnstormers this season. Michael Kelly on May 31st outdueled Buddy Bauman by a final score of 3-2. Kelly is 3-3 on the year with, get this, a 3.33 earned run average. But the guy he beat was Buddy Bauman, who doesn't get much support. We talked to Buddy about that and other things. I'll be back with the Barnstormers lefty ace in just a moment here on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
The National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum is a place with thousands of stories to be told. It's a place to is a destination with something for the
Welcome back to tonight's edition of the Gockenauer Home Appliances Dugout Report. My guest is Barnstormers left-hander Buddy Bauman. And Buddy, terrific game the other night, Wednesday night. One mistake that's only a mistake in this ballpark. Michael Ullman reaching for the 2-run home run in the 5th inning. Other than that, an exceptional game.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a good game to go 9. I know the bullpen's been taxed lately, so I was happy to get through the whole thing.
Yeah, it's the third time we've seen you go well over 100 pitches this year. Do you have that history of having that amount of durability?
I haven't really started since college on a for a full season. In college, my college coach let us go over 100 frequently, but we pitched once a week. But I think it's more the competitive juices flowing, just like want to be out there and Ross, he sees the fire in guys' eyes and lets them show him what they're about, and so I've been happy, and I've been bouncing back just fine.
Yeah, it's the first 9-inning performance by Barnstormer pitcher, and it turns out exactly 2 years since Nate Reed did it against the New Britain Bees. And you can't have any of those really painfully long innings, those 25, 30, 35 pitch innings. You've got to pace yourself pretty well.
Yeah, I think double plays are essential, and first pitch outs are essential if you're wanting to go deep like that. And I haven't had too many double plays, but the last game I was able to get 2, and some first pitch outs that were very helpful.
What's the key to getting those first pitch outs or putting hitters away with 2 strikes? Because we see pitch counts run up so often, and it's always a mystery to me, the 2-strike foul balls, that it's like those pitches are in between. They're not good enough to strike somebody out, and they're not bad enough to get hit and have the hitter get himself out. So when you're in a game like that where you get a lot of 2-strike foul balls, and obviously that wasn't the case with you the other night, how do you make that adjustment?
The most important thing is first pitch strikes. So if you're pounding the zone early, getting the first pitch strikes, you're gonna get the first pitch swings, and guys are gonna put the ball in play. You're not being too picky with your placement. You're just getting that ball over, challenging the guys, and then if you're throwing your first pitch strikes, you're getting the 2 strikes a lot earlier. And if you're behind in the count, then you get yourself back to 2 strikes. Then it's gonna be battle with fastballs because you're not wanting to walk them. So if you're getting ahead, it's going to be a lot easier to put guys away, and it's going to be a lot easier to get those swings early in the count.
You haven't gotten a whole lot of support behind you this year. The club's averaging only 2.7 runs per game when you've been starting. Does anybody bring that up to you to come over? Sorry, man, we got to do better.
Yeah, guys have come up to me about it, but it's the game. I mean, my goal is to put up zeros. Their goal is to hit, and sometimes it just happens. It's what are you gonna do? I'm not disappointed at all about it. I hope that we can win, but I hope the best for them. The hitters, and we're all in this together, so it's no issue at all.
And sometimes it just happens that every 5th day you run into the other team's one of their better pitchers, and you get those pitchers' duels.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If you're able to be quick, then the other pitcher is getting up quick, and you guys have a rhythm going, get a quick game. It's better a defensive game than it is an offensive game. So maybe if I work quick, maybe that does play better for the other pitcher.
How nice is it to have that team up the middle behind you?
Marty and Gamache are amazing. They make the plays, make your job a lot easier. And then Sanford out there running balls down. It's really easy to pitch with those guys. I know there's a number of hits last game that they saved, and it's been great to have them behind me.
We've got 10 more games until the All-Star break, and the first half is basically over as far as this club is concerned. So what are team goals here for the next 10 days?
Team goals is just figure ourselves out. I mean, figure out who we are. I think that's one thing we don't really quite know. Sometimes we're a hitting team, sometimes we're a pitching team, and when we figure that out, and sometimes it takes a long time. We haven't played together before this year, and sometimes teams take a little bit longer to gel. And once we figure that out, I think we're just trying to be patient, but get the idea of who we are before the next half, and so the next half we can start rolling.
It looks like certainly we've got the answers to 4 spots in the starting rotation, 3 lefties, and then Jonathan Albaladejo coming back tonight to join Kyle Davies from the right side. So it looks like the pieces of that puzzle are there.
I think a lot of us starters, again, it's my first year starting in a while. I know Lakin and Anderson, I think he started a little bit more, but we're kind of getting the hang of starting, and I think everyone's kind of hitting their stride right now, learning a little bit. We're kind of rocky at first, but I think we've been putting together some good games. So it's been nice to have Albie back, and he really rounds it out quite nice, and not having like who's going to be the star of the 5th day. It'll be nice to have someone solid there.
Well, buddy, again, congratulations on a marvelous outing the other night. Unfortunately, it didn't come with that third win of the season, but eventually I think if you keep racking up the quality starts, that will turn around.
Yeah, we're going to turn it around. We'll start winning.
Buddy Bauman joining me tonight on the Gockenauer Home Appliances Dugout Report. Starting lineups come your way next for the opener of this three-game series against Southern Maryland. We'll be back in just a moment.
Jersey. No purchase necessary. One lucky winner will win this very special jersey at the end of the season. Did you know we also have the best deals on the full line of Weber gas grills? Hey, mention this ad and receive free delivery on every Weber grill you purchase during the season. The best brands at the best prices. Gockenauer's in East Petersburg.
The National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum is a place with thousands of stories to be told. It's a place to relive baseball's greatest moments and share them with future generations. It's a place to experience the game and how it has shaped our history. Cooperstown is a destination with something for the entire family. Our stories to tell, your memories to share. Plan your trip to the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown at baseballhall.org.
Welcome back from Clipper Magazine Stadium. Dave Collins with you as the Lancaster Barnstormers get set for a three-game series against the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. Here are the starting lineups. First for the visiting Blue Crabs, managed by Stan Clyburn. It will be Kent Blackstone leading off at second base. Ruby Silva is the right fielder batting second. Frank Martinez will bat third. He'll be at third base. The cleanup batter is the first baseman, Jose Julio Ruiz. Corey Vaughn is in center field batting fifth. The catcher in the number 6 slot is Charlie Valerio. John Griffin, the designated hitter, will bat seventh. The left fielder in the number 8 slot is Tony Thomas. And Edwin Garcia is batting ninth. And Garcia is the shortstop for the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs here this evening. On the hill will be right-hander Michael Kelly. Kelly comes in with a record of 3 wins, 3 losses, and a 3.33 earned run average. He's given up 10 runs over 27 innings on a pace this season. Here is the starting lineup for the Lancaster Barnstormers. Darian Sanford leading off in center. The shortstop is Michael Martinez, batting number 2. Dan Gamache at second base, hitting third, and it looks like Ross is sticking with this with right-handed starters. The cleanup batter is Caleb Gindel in right field. Joe Terdoslavich, the designated hitter tonight, batting fifth. Casey Hobson at first base, hitting sixth. Josh Bell with the start at third base. He is batting number 7 in the order. Parker Moore in catching and hitting 8th. And the left fielder in the number 9 slot is Zach Shank. Jonathan Albaladejo with the start this evening for the Barnstormers. He's the pitching coach and making his first start now in almost 2 months. Albaladejo at 0-3 with a 5.28 earned run average. That is our matchup this evening here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. The Lancaster Barnstormers taking on the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. We'll have play-by-play baseball coming your way next here on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
The constant energy, the tight turns and bustle of the city. Some survive it, others were made to conquer it. The first ever Lexus UX and UX F-Sport crossovers are crafted for those who were made for the city. UX, starting at $32,000. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
MSRP excludes delivery, processing, and handling fee of $1,025, which may be subject to change at any time. Excludes taxes, title, license, and optional equipment. Dealer price will vary.
At Clipper Magazine Stadium, we have hot dogs and popcorn, peanuts, soda, and nachos. But what if, say, you are only 3 months old and mom wants to have a night out and watch the Barnstormers? Well, thanks to May Grant Obstetrics and Gynecology, the littlest of Stormer fans now have a place to go for dinner during the game. Tots can take mom to the Little Sluggers dugout behind Section 13 at the stadium for a comfortable private feeding experience. A brightly painted room with comfortable furniture and TVs tuned to the game, it is the perfect spot for baby and mom during a night at the ballpark.
The Lancaster Barnstormers hit the field here at Clipper Magazine Stadium, a Field of Dreams team joining them. The crowd still filtering in here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. It has been a hot day, hottest of the year so far. We have had one passing shower come through. The tarp was on the field for just a matter of minutes during the afternoon. Now it's time to send you down to the field. Here are our opening ceremonies.
With our national anthem. Here to play the Star-Spangled Banner, please welcome Jason Ricker. Jason Ricker.
We have many great vocalists here at Clipper Magazine Stadium with the Star-Spangled Banner, as you hear wherever we go around the Atlantic League, but sometimes it is good just to hear the music. And that was what we had tonight on the saxophone from Jason Ricker. We get set for the Lancaster Barnstormers and the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs with Jonathan Albaladejo on the hill. Albaladejo 0-3 with a 5.28 ERA. 15 and a third innings. He's allowed 25 hits. He does have a tendency to give up some base hits, but it was a little bit extreme those first three starts this year. He has walked 5, struck out 12. That ERA is 5.28, and there was some suspicion that Albaladejo might not be 100% by his second start. The third start, we pretty much knew. His velocity was down. He gave up 9 hits in 4 innings. Then he has spent about 7 weeks out of action for the Lancaster Barnstormers. Active tonight, making his 4th start of the year, his first against Southern Maryland. He has been 5-3 against the Blue Crabs in his Atlantic League career. Backing him up defensively, Josh Bell is at third. The shortstop is Michael Martinez. Dan Gamache at second. Casey Hobson is the first baseman. Zach Shank gets his turn in left field tonight. It's almost a 3-person rotation with Shank, Greg Golson, and Devon Torrance in left. Darian Sanford is in center. Caleb Gindel is the right fielder for the Lancaster Barnstormers here this evening. Parker Morin is doing the catching with Albaladejo on the hill. Kent Blackstone will lead off for Southern Maryland. The Blue Crabs key stand man hitting .205 with a pair of home runs. He has driven in 13 on the season. He steps in left-handed against the 6'5", 260-pound Jonathan Albaladejo. Defense will play straight away, and they're fairly far back against Blackstone, who has 2 doubles and 2 home runs on the season. First pitch, breaking ball, good for a strike. Albaladejo works ahead of Blackstone at 0-1. Ruby Silva, the right fielder, is scheduled to bat next. He will step in from the left side as well. To Blackstone, it is low. Ball 1, strike 1. After Silva, will be switch hitting Frank Martinez. So it's 3 consecutive left-handed batters, and the cleanup hitter is a lefty as well, Jose Julio Ruiz. Blackstone with a high pop fly on the right side of the diamond. The second baseman, Gamache, signals and makes the catch. Blackstone retired. We have one out. And right fielder Ruby Silva coming to the plate. Silva batting .268 with 6 home runs and 25 runs batted in. One out, nobody on base, as we are just underway tonight here in Lancaster. Tomorrow night we'll have fireworks following the game. And Sunday afternoon, a family fun day and Silo's birthday at Clipper Magazine Stadium. Silva drives the ball deep to right center field. Way back on this goes Sanford. It is over his head, and that is a ground rule double for Ruby Silva. The ball hopping over the wall in deep right center field. Silva stopping at second base with the one-out double, and Frank Martinez will come to the plate. Silva with his 12th double and his 21st extra base hit of the season. A runner in scoring position for Southern Maryland, bringing on the switching third baseman Frank Martinez, whose batting average is way down here in 2019. Last year he hit over 300 in the Atlantic League, now 237. He has 5 home runs, 26 runs batted in. Trying to pick up a runner from second base here. Silva hit that ball a long way, and tonight's a night where you would expect a ball to travel, and it certainly did off Silva's bat. It is warm and it is muggy. We have clouds in the area. There have been storms around, so the air's probably rising. Albaladejo goes to work on Martinez. First pitch dealt at the knees for a called strike. It is 0-1. Tim Detweiler has balls and strikes this evening. Steve Zawiski is the first base umpire. Scott Hart is along the third base line. The trio will be with us the entire weekend. No balls and a strike. And a Martinez breaking ball at the knees. That is strike 2 on the Southern Maryland third baseman, Jose Julio Ruiz. Always dangerous in this ballpark. Waits on deck. He had great success here as a road warrior last year. He's been with Camden before. And even this year he's had some of his better success here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. The Martinez, he gets chased out of the box. The pitch is inside, and ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Southern Maryland was here right around the 1st of June, May 31 to June 2. Julio Ruiz in the middle game of that series, one of the opposing players to have a multi-home run game here this year. Barnstormers have given up 8 multiple home run games, most of them in this ballpark, except for the two home run games for Stephen Cardulo down at High Point. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Martinez. Albaladejo works from the stretch. Parker Morin gives the signals. Here's the pitch, a breaking ball low. That gets away from Morin, and Silva will charge ahead to third. We'll get a ruling on the play. Wild pitch. Charge to Albaladejo. It was in the dirt. And now the Blue Crabs with a man 90 feet from home. Frank Martinez batting at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Defense back. It's still very early. Martinez with an even up stance. Awaiting the 2-2 offering. Albaladejo below the belt into the wind. Here's the pitch, and it's chopped past the mound. With it is Gamache. He'll throw to first. Now a throw back to the plate. Not quite in time to get Silva. I'm rather surprised Silva didn't break right away. Gamache did charge that hopper past Albaladejo. Silva didn't come all the way initially. Held off until Gamache committed to the throw to first base. Martinez drives in the run. Double wild pitch ground out. Martinez with his 27th run batted in of the season. Southern Maryland strikes first, and here is Jose Julio Ruiz. His only 2 home runs this season coming in the same game. He takes a strike from Albie. It is 0-1. Back on June the 1st, a game the Barnstormers won 14-4. Julio Ruiz with a couple of home runs off of John Anderson. Now a ball smashed foul out of the reach of Casey Hobson down the first baseline. 0-2, the count on Julio Ruiz. That was about the only harm done to John that game. A solo home run in the 4th inning and a 2-run shot in the 6th. The other run given up by Anderson was unearned. 1-0 Blue Crabs just underway at Clipper Magazine Stadium. Albladejo goes to work to Julio Ruiz. The 0-2 is skied on the right side. Also playable for Gamache. He has all three plays defensively in the inning. But a run is on the board. One hit, no errors, nobody left on for Southern Maryland. At the end of one half inning, the score is Southern Maryland 1, and the Barnstormers are coming up.
Just like a baseball team needs pitchers, sluggers, relievers, and coaches to win games, a fire company needs firefighters, drivers, fire police officers, and administrative help to be successful. Fire companies need to function as a well-oiled team, and through training, preparing, working together like a team in an emergency, your local fire company responds to help save lives and property. It's time you stepped up to bat to hit a home run for your local Lancaster County Fire Company. Go to becomeafirefighter.org, sign up, and take a swing for the fences. Join the Lancaster County Fire Service team.
Enjoy baseball and stay in shape. The Lancaster Barnstormers have a great package for our more experienced fans to do both. The Silver Stormers package is open to all fans 55 and above. Get a ticket to all Tuesday home games. Take a walk around our beautiful stadium during the day on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And get a Silver Stormers t-shirt to sport to all of these events. The Silver Stormers is presented by A&E Audiology and Hearing Aid Center. Sign up today at the stadium or at LancasterBarnstormers.com.
Barnstormers face right-hander Michael Kelly tonight. He is very slender, 6'4", 185 pounds, from Boynton Beach, Florida. First delivery off the glove of his battery mate Charlie Valerio into the backstop. Ball one and no strikes on center fielder Darian Sanford. Sanford hitting .254. He has driven in 12 runs on the year. Kelly, a right-hander. He is 26 years of age. Former first-round pick for the San Diego Padres. Hasn't gotten to the big leagues. He is low to Sanford. The count is 2-0 to the speedster. Michael Martinez waits on deck. Up and away. Kelly is on the verge of giving up a base on balls. He's averaged 4 walks per 9 innings. And in fact, the last time he faced the Barnstormers, he walked 4 in 6, but allowed only 2 hits. A strike now to Sanford. It is 3-1. Frank Martinez is at third. The shortstop, Edwin Garcia. Kent Blackstone at second with Jose Julio Ruiz over at first. And the 3-1, Sanford looks at another strike. We go to full 3-2. Tony Thomas is in left with Corey Vaughn in center, Ruby Silva in right. Charlie Valerio behind the plate. Here's the 3-2, ball 4, high and outside. And we'll see if Sanford is off to the races. 23 for 28 in stolen bases so far on the season. Those are tame totals for Sanford. He's been getting on base more regularly as of late, and hence the stolen base count is on the rise. Darian stole his 23rd yesterday. He's ahead of Jared Mitchell of Sugar Land by 1. Nobody else close. The batter is Michael Martinez, the Lancaster shortstop. Checks in, batting .287. He's homered 3 times. He has driven in 23. High and outside. Valerio had to leap for it, but he makes the stop. Sanford holds on at first base. Ross Peoples coaching third. Troy Steffi over at first. They are both clad in hoodies, and how on a night like this, I will never know. Ball 1-0 to Martinez. Sanford looks itching to go. He draws a throw from Kelly. Tag applied by Julio Ruiz, but not in time. Sanford, number 10 all-time in Atlantic League stolen bases. The next up is former Somerset and York outfielder Sean Smith, who stole 159. Another throw to first, and Sanford is back in. Sean Smith, the man who hobbled around the bases with a critical home run for York in the playoffs a few years ago. Legend at Peoples Bank Park. 1-0. The pitch to Martinez, up again. Kelly struggling to find the strike zone early. 2 balls and no strikes from Kelly to Martinez. Sanford already on base. Dan Gamache waits on deck. We'll see if Martinez takes here. Ball 3 is outside, and I can almost assure you he is taking the next one. Barnstormers with the opportunity here in the very first inning of play. They're already down a run, but they've got Sanford on. It's 3-0 to Martinez, and that is high for ball 4. Kelly has missed with 8 out of 10. The last was very close. Dan Gamache steps in, the Lancaster second baseman, hitting .309 with 5 home runs, 41 runs batted in. Very tough start, a very tough series against the Somerset Patriots. Only a couple of hits for Dan in the 4 games. Trying to make up for lost time here in this very first inning. Sanford and Martinez are on base. Kelly goes to work on Gamache. The right-hander looking back to the lead man. A breaking ball into the zone on Gamache. It is 0-1. Caleb Gindel on deck. Then you have Joe Terdoslavich. The Barnstormers, the last 2 nights, did not have a base hit with a runner in scoring position. They were combined 0 for 17 the last 2 games of the Somerset series. Runners take their leads. Kelly glances back to Sanford. Sanford goes, and he goes too soon. This has a potential of being devastating, and they let him go. Sanford is able to get back. A muff on the part of the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. All of that for naught. Frank Martinez continued to chase Sanford back to second base. He never felt comfortable throwing the ball. So it could have been a disaster for the Barnstormers. Turns out just to be a little embarrassing on the part of the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. Strategically, they're not harmed, but they had the out ahead of them. 0-1 to Gamache. It's as if all that never happened. Kelly to the set. Dan takes a breaking ball high and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Kelly continues to have trouble locating the field here this evening. And Lancaster with the opportunity to pounce here in the bottom half of inning 1. Only 2 hits allowed by Kelly back on May the 31st here. One a Terdoslavich homer, the other a Hobson single. Time is called, and Kelly is charged with a balk by the home plate umpire, Tim Detweiler. Well, Sanford definitely in his cranium. Now Lancaster with 2 runners in scoring position. Gamache with potential runs batted in at 42 and 43 waiting out there for him. It is 1-1 on the Lancaster second baseman. Not only do they lose Sanford in a rundown, but also now Kelly balks Gamache with a ground ball foul. Troy Steffi bobbles but never lets it touch the ground again. So good play over in the first base coach's box. He gets Juice Gums points. 1-2. The count on Gamache. They reference the third base coach of the Sugarland Skeeters, who's remarkable with his handwork in the coach's box. Runners lead off second and third once again. Gamache awaits the 1-2 and the delivery, a fastball down and in. Kelly was not going to get harmed there. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes with the early 1-0 lead. Southern Maryland keeping the infielders back. The first baseman, Julio Ruiz, is up, and he would challenge Sanford at the plate. Darien almost certain to come on contact. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Gamache. Target is set by Valerio. Kelly ready to go, and the pitch is strike 3 called at the knees. Gamache goes down looking. And with one away, Caleb Gindel will take a turn. Gindel, earlier talking about hitting in this situation, and it comes up for him in the first inning. And Caleb is about as good as there is. He's driven in the runner from third with fewer than 2 outs on 11 of 13 tries this season. You should do it about 2/3 of the time. And 11 out of 13, certainly better than that. Sanford at third, Martinez at second, now with 1 out. Here's the motion by the right-hander Kelly, swinging a soft line drive to the second baseman Blackstone. He tries to double up Martinez at second, throws the ball away. A leaping attempt by Garcia, couldn't save it. The Barnstormers will get the run on the error. Gindel lines out the second base, but Sanford able to score, and Martinez go to third on the E4 on the double play attempt. Well, the run for the moment is unearned. Joe Terdoslavich steps in with 2 outs, and Martinez, the runner left on base, he's at third. The Barnstormers need the error right now to get the run home. They have gone into a tailspin with runners in scoring position, something this ball club was very adept at doing earlier in the year. Now Terdoslavich looks to strike. It's 0-1. But once again, the Barnstormers having fits hitting Michael Kelly. Nothing in 1 to Terdoslavich. The motion, the pitch. Joe swings through it. Kelly has the edge at 0-2. The Barnstormers are very, very fortunate to have the run on the board here in this inning. They can get some credit for the walks, but Sanford should have been thrown out stealing, and the Blue Crabs missed the chance on the rundown, and then the balk and the throwing error by Blackstone. Now to Terdoslavich, chopper on the left side, backhanded play by the third baseman Martinez. He sails the throw across the diamond. The Barnstormers get the 1 run on the board, no hits and an error, with 1 runner left on base at the end of an inning here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. The scoreboard reads the Lancaster Barnstormers 1 and the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs 1.
Presented by One-to-One Technology.
Just like a baseball team needs pitchers, sluggers, relievers, and coaches to win games, a fire company needs firefighters, drivers, fire police officers, and administrative help to be successful. Fire companies need to function as a well-oiled team, and through training, preparing, working together like a team in an emergency, your local fire company responds to help save lives and property. It's time you stepped up to bat to hit a home run for your local Lancaster County Fire Company. Go to becomeafirefighter.org, sign up, and take a swing for the fences. Join the Lancaster County Fire Service team.
Enjoy baseball and stay in shape. The Lancaster Barnstormers have a great package for our more experienced fans to do both. The Silver Stormers package is open to all fans 55 and above. Get a ticket to all Tuesday home games. Take a walk around our beautiful stadium during the day on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And get a Silver Stormers t-shirt to sport to all of these events. The Silver Stormers is presented by A&E Audiology and Hearing Aid Center. Sign up today at the stadium or at LancasterBarnstormers.com.
Welcome back from Clipper Magazine Stadium. Jonathan Albaladejo's first pitch to Corey Vaughn is swung on and fouled. No balls and a strike. We are in a 1-1 tie here in the top of the second inning. A double, a wild pitch, and a ground out for Southern Maryland. 2 walks, a balk, and a throwing error for the Barnstormers producing the run to the outside corner. Vaughn trailing in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Albaladejo not able to overpower anybody. The fastball topping out at about 84 as it looks right now, but the man definitely knows how to pitch. He'll work the corners, he'll work the spots, he'll change pitches, and do the best he can. 36 years of age now is Albladejo, one-time New York Yankee, Washington National, and Arizona Diamondback. Inside to Vaughn, it's 1-2. Albie twists it outside and low and goes to a 2-ball and 2-strike count. Southern Maryland's second inning just underway here tonight. Tomorrow night is a reprisal of Kyle Davies versus Darrell Thompson. The last time they squared off, we had a 1-hour, 59-minute game. Breaking ball popped up on the third base side. Morin sheds the mask. Parker makes the catch. Vaughn is retired on a foul pop-up in front of the third base dugout. Morin and Bell both in position. Parker signaled he had it the entire way. Charlie Valerio, the catcher, will come to the plate. Valerio batting .273. He has 3 home runs. He has driven in 10. Southern Maryland is where it is in the standings with the record of 21-39 because of offense. The Blue Crabs are hitting just .235 as a team. Valerio is their top batter at .273. The switch-hitting catcher digs in. Ground ball past the mound. Sounded like it broke the bat. Martinez, a routine play. He could wait for it to come to him. He throws out Valerio. 2 up and 2 down here in the second. John Griffin, the designated hitter, will come to the plate. And the Blue Crabs are only averaging 3.3 runs per game on the season. That is a very low total. The next low total in the league is Somerset, the team that just left us, at 4.2. But of course, Somerset leads the league in team pitching. Southern Maryland is 5th in that category. First pitch strike on the inside corner at the knees to the tall John Griffin. It is no balls and a strike. 2 outs, nobody on in the Southern Maryland half of the second inning. The delivery is low, a ball and a strike. The Blue Crabs recently parted ways with their player coach, Craig Maddox. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Stan Clyburn, the manager, is contemplating options as to how he wants to fill that role. He's got Daisuke Yoshida coaching third, Joe Walsh at first. Ground ball, shortstop. Charging the play is Martinez, and it rolls up his wrist. Griffin is on board, and Martinez will be charged with an error on the play. Don't see that too often. He charged the ball, it came up on him. Now Tony Thomas will come to the plate with the runner at first base. Not a steal threat. Griffin is 0 for 1 on the year. 2 outs in the inning. Thomas at .223 with 5 home runs. He has driven in 20 on the campaign. The offering from Albie is outside, a ball 1-0. And as difficult a time as Southern Maryland has had hitting overall, it has been worse when the ball club is on the road. Their team batting average is .219 outside of Regency Furniture Stadium. Ball 2 is low and away. Thomas bats 2-0. This has been a less than ideally played game so far. Each side with an error. We've seen a wild pitch. We have seen a balk. The delivery is ball 3 now on Thomas. Edwin Garcia, the shortstop, waiting on deck. Michael Martinez doesn't blow too many at shortstop, and he had to charge the play by Griffin. It hit off the heel of the glove and got away from him. 3-0 delivery, a strike at the knees. 3-1. The count on Thomas, who is a veteran of the unaffiliated leagues. Of course, played for Sugar Land in the postseason a year ago. 3-1 pitch, breaking ball, and that's scorched foul. Down the third base line, we go to 3-2. He was 4 out of 14 on the last homestand for Southern Maryland. And talk about the home and road splits and the difficulties that the Blue Crabs have had, hitting .286 at home, .168 on the road for Thomas. Runner goes, ball 4 is low. Griffin moves ahead to second. Thomas aboard at first now on the walk. Edwin Garcia, the shortstop, stepping in. Garcia's a .245 hitter with 2 home runs and 15 runs batted in. Danger lurks all of a sudden for Albaladejo here in the second inning. All coming with 2 outs. An error followed by a base on balls. Now he works to Garcia. Breaking ball gets there for strike 1. And that's pretty much what you're seeing out of Jonathan Albaladejo. Lot of off-speed stuff in the early going. Runners lead from first and second. Thomas the faster of the two. Breaking ball again. Strike 2 on Garcia. And he is backed away from both. Albaladejo has Garcia. No balls and 2 strikes. Albie ready to go. And the pitch, breaking ball that is launched foul out of play down the right field line. Still 2 strikes in the count. Garcia is just 2 for 16 against the Barnstormers for the year. He's always fielded very well against Lancaster. Not always hit well. The 0-2 pitch, breaking ball again. This time Morin forced to basically dive on top of it. 1-2. John Griffin, the runner at second. Tony Thomas is the runner at first base. 2 outs here in the top half of the second inning, an inning that all of a sudden has crawled to, or slowed to a crawl, crawled almost to a halt. Here comes the 1-2 to Garcia. Breaking ball again. Morin has to jump on top of it. He gets up looking for a throw, but Griffin did not make the break for third. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Garcia. Albaladejo picked up the first 2 outs easily, had the third one get away from Martinez. A walk to Thomas, and this at-bat's starting to get away. 2-2. Again, a breaking ball, line drive into left field for a base hit. Charging the play is Shank. Griffin is being set. Shank's throw is offline. Diving back is Morin, and it's not in time at the plate. The run scores, and it's 2-1. Edwin Garcia with a rare RBI against the Lancaster Barnstormers. It's his first of this season. Shank's throw is a little bit up the first base line. Had it been just a tad closer, the Barnstormers had the play on Griffin coming through. Morin handled the bounce, dove back toward the plate, but didn't lay the tag on Griffin in time. It is now 2-1 in favor of Southern Maryland. That's an unearned run. Here's the top of the order, Kent Blackstone, who popped out his first time up. Albaladejo delivers and reaches the outside corner for a called strike. It is 0-1. Thomas now at second with Garcia aboard at first. Lancaster once again falling behind in the game. Here's the set by Albaladejo. Pitch missing inside. Blackstone bats at 1-1. This has become a painfully long inning for Albaladejo. He could have been out of it on 10, 12 pitches, and now he's thrown 24. Blackstone awaits the 1-1. The delivery, check swing. Morin throws through behind the lead runner Thomas, and he picks off Tony Thomas. Parker Morin with the pickoff. Thomas a goner, and that will end the inning, but it's a run on 1 hit with 1 error, and there was 1 runner left on base. We'll go to the bottom half of the second inning with the score. The Southern Maryland Blue Crabs 2 and the Lancaster Barnstormers 1.
With the new Express Sports football and car racing from the Pennsylvania Lottery, you can play your favorite sports at participating retailers, bars, and restaurants. Make your picks on your play slip, like touchdown pass on the third play, or the first 3 cars to cross the finish line, and watch the fast-paced lifelike action on the big screen. With drawings for cash prizes every 5 minutes, there's never a dull moment. Come on, come on. Yes!
Express Sports from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Compete from your seat. Players must be 18 or older. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
There's a new force in town. Know any young baseball fans? Make sure they're a part of the Storm Force Kids Club presented by Commonwealth Charter Academy. For only $25, kids receive 12 field box tickets. To go with the tickets, the Storm Force members will get a backpack, a t-shirt, an invitation to Silo's birthday party, and a chance to meet Barnstormer players over a bowl of ice cream, plus a lot more. What's better than that? Sign up at LancasterBarnstormers.com or stop by the stadium to get those kids involved.
Here is Casey Hobson starting off the bottom of the second inning, and he takes a pitch low from Michael Kelly. Ball 1, 2-1 Southern Maryland. There's been a single tally in each half inning to this point in the game. Next delivery stays high. Hobson with a 2-0 advantage. Each club has surrendered an unearned run so far. Now to Hobson, 2-0. Fastball good at the knees. It is 2-1 from Kelly. It was the 48th pick in the draft overall. First rounder for San Diego. Ball 3, missing low, 3-1. Kelly has pitched with the San Diego Padres and the Baltimore Orioles organizations. 3-1. Hobson shattered his bat and popped it up on the left side. The third baseman Martinez backpedaling. 4th out in a row for Kelly. And with 1 gone, Josh Bell, the third baseman, comes to the plate. Bell hitting 201 with a home run and 10 runs batted in. Facing Michael Kelly, the first right-handed starting pitcher that the Barnstormers have seen since last Friday night's second game. Teams that sent 6 consecutive left-handed starting pitchers against them, starting with Jake Fisher and Darren Downs for Long Island, and then all 4 starters for Somerset were southpaws. Ball 1-0, the count to Bell. Kelly comes back, twists a breaking ball to the inside corner. It's 1-1. Catcher Parker Morin waits on deck. Southern Maryland with the 2-1 lead here in the bottom of the second to Bell. Ball 2 is low on the check swing. 2 balls, 1 strike. Right-hander Kelly comes back with a fastball, getting the outer third of the plate. He is even with Bell at 2-2. Infield plays Bell to pull a little bit. Strike 3 is called on the inside corner. Bell goes down looking. It's the second called third strike for Kelly. And with 2 away, Morin will come to the plate. Parker hitting .288 with a pair of home runs and 10 driven in. 5 in a row set down by Kelly since he walked the first 2 Barnstormer hitters of the night. The throwing error allowing Darian Sanford to score. Morin gets a timeout from the plate umpire Tim Detweiler. He requested it early enough to be granted. Here is the pitch, and a strike at the knees on Morin. It's 0-1. Zach Shank, the left fielder, in the on-deck circle. Barnstormers may have forgotten what a right-handed pitcher looked like. Outside on the breaking pitch, Morin bats at 1-1. A lot of pitches thrown here these first couple of innings. Morin takes the 1-1, lifts a foul out of play to the left. Kelly emerges ahead in the count at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Lancaster just trying to break out of the shackles. Fastball up and away off of Valerio's glove to get the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lancaster now 0 for its last 21 with runners in scoring position since an RBI single from Caleb Gindel in the day game on Wednesday. Fouled away by Morin. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The continuing count to the Lancaster receiver. Lancaster will face another right-handed starter tonight in the Atlantic League veteran Darrell Thompson. Kyle Davies on the hill for Lancaster. Ground ball toward the middle and through, a base hit for Parker Morin. Lancaster continues to get positive offensive work out of the catchers. And Zach Schenk will come to the plate. A lot of exuberance from our little bite tonight, who sounds slightly older than we would ordinarily have. Here's Schenk batting .196 with 5 runs batted in. He's had some doubles as of late. Morin leads from first, held by Julio Ruiz. The pitch to Schenk, twists in for a strike called. It is 0-1. Schenk was 2 for 8 in the series against Somerset. One of those hits a double. He bats at 0-1. Kelly to the plate, and Schenk hits a bounder towards shortstop. Garcia will charge and simply underhand to Blackstone covering. The force out ends the inning. It goes 6-4. No runs on a hit with no errors, 1 man left, and at the end of 2, it is a 2-1 lead for the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs.
You know how it works. More of the same.
When in need of new appliances for your home, come to Gockenauer's in East Petersburg and see what buying from a hometown dealer is all about. We offer the best brands at the best prices, plus deliver, install, and service everything we sell. Don't get burned by another chain store taking your money and then going out of business. Come to the place who has been helping Lancaster County for 70 years. Your hometown dealer making the best brands better. Gockenauer's in East Petersburg.
Lancaster Bible College has been around since 1933, but did you know that they offer degrees in much more than just Bible? LBC offers degrees in criminal justice, business, professional counseling, and more, as well as graduate and seminary degrees in areas like Christian care, chaplaincy, education, and leadership studies. To learn more about LBC and the programs they offer, visit lbc.edu. That's lbc.edu.
Took a while for Parker Morin to get the gear back on as we await the opening of the 3rd inning. Kent Blackstone will lead off for Southern Maryland. He was batting when Tony Thomas found himself off of second base a little too far. Too much in the way of liberties, and Parker Morin gunned him down. 2-1, Blue Crabs lead. Albaladejo works to Blackstone. It's fouled away. No balls, 1 strike. Each side has sent 9 men to the plate so far. The pitch totals are dead even, unofficially at 37, but it's Southern Maryland leading 2-1. Breaking ball spins to the inside corner. Albie with his curveball only at 71 miles per hour. Right to the inside edge. Blackstone is batting 0-2. Albaladejo back to work. That's tapped out ahead of the plate. Morin will go around it to get the angle on the throw. Fire to first. Blackstone retired 2-3. Ruby Silva stepping in. Silva's seen one pitch in this ball game so far, and he destroyed it. A long ground rule double to the gap in right center field. He scored the first inning run for Southern Maryland. Albaladejo's allowed 2 hits. He has walked 1, hasn't struck out anybody. Just trying to pitch to contact and do the best he can. Inside and low to Silva. Ball 1, no strikes. Barnstormers do have just about the entire bullpen at their disposal. Buddy Bauman going all 9 innings Wednesday night. John Anderson, a 6-inning quality start last night. High fly ball at this time to the left side. Retreating is the shortstop Martinez. Michael with the catch. 2 up and 2 down here in the 3rd inning. And Frank Martinez will dig in. Martinez out on a 4-3 ground ball back in the 1st inning, but he did drive in his 27th run of the season in the process. Albaladejo trailing by 1 here in the top half of the 3rd inning. He goes to work on Martinez and delivers a breaking ball for a strike. It is 0-1. There is not a lot of velocity on the fastball for Albaladejo tonight. He serves one there. It's inside and low. 1 ball, 1 strike. But his breaking stuff is very good, and he has to live on it. 1-1. Martinez with a bounder foul to the Lancaster dugout. Albaladejo with a chance to get out of the inning. He's ahead at a ball and 2 strikes. Lights are on. Temperatures today got to the 90s here in the Lancaster area. We have some clouds about. Right now the sun is shining on the field. 1-2 pitch. Doesn't get to the outside corner. Martinez is batting at 2-2. The fans are riding Tim Detweiler, but certainly on that pitch without any reason whatsoever. 2-2. Here's the delivery. Swing and a miss. First strikeout for Albaladejo. A 1-2-3 inning for the right-hander. Nothing across in the top half of the 3rd inning. We go to the bottom half of inning 3. The scoreboard reads Southern Maryland 2, Lancaster 1.
The National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum is a place with thousands of stories to be told. It's a place to relive baseball's greatest moments and share them with future generations. It's a place to experience the game and how it has shaped our history. Cooperstown is a destination with something for the entire family. Our stories to tell, your memories to share. Plan your trip to the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown at baseballhall.org.
Enjoy baseball and dinner package weeknights at Clipper Magazine Stadium. Monday nights feature an all-you-can-eat pig roast in the Howler Pavilion, courtesy of Hess's Barbecue. Tuesday night is all-you-can-eat chicken and ribs in the pavilion, or all-you-can-eat tacos in the Bobby Rahal Lexus Suite. Wednesday nights are Wiener Wednesdays with $1 Burke's hot dogs from the main concession stands, or all-you-can-eat wings from Joe's Wings and Wieners upstairs. Call 717-509-HITS to order your tickets or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com. And we'll see you at the ballpark.
Darian Sanford steps in to start off the Barnstormers half of the 3rd. Sanford drew a walk and scored a run back in the 1st inning. An unearned tally against Michael Kelly, who carries the 2-1 lead. Darian takes outside for a ball, 1-0. Michael Martinez and Dan Gamache set the follow with Caleb Gindel in the hole. Kelly up and away again. He's got to be so frustrated with his inability tonight to throw strikes to Sanford. Breaking ball, and that just missed. Darian's up there 3-0 again, and that bat will stay on the shoulder. Doesn't matter how he gets on base as long as he does. The fastball poured through. Strike one to Sanford. He gets strike two onto the outside corner. The count fills. 3 balls and 2 strikes to the Lancaster center fielder. Here's the pitch. That breaks low. Sanford on with his second walk of the night. Third given up by Kelly. Michael Martinez will come to the plate. He also walked his first time up. Kelly dug himself an early hole and then got out of it on his own. Only the throwing error by Kent Blackstone enabled the Barnstormers ultimately to score in that first inning. But now Sanford's on again, and anytime he's on, he's dangerous. To Martinez, fastball is up, ball 1 and no strikes. Sanford is simply a disturbance when he's on the base paths. Ball 1-0 to Martinez. The right-hander working out of the stretch and finally comes to the plate. He is high for ball 2. I thought for certain somebody would have asked for time there. It never occurred. Julio Ruiz holds Sanford at the bag by playing slightly off the bag. It's his style. Breaking ball good for a strike on Martinez, now 2-1. Lancaster looking at least to tie things up here in the third inning against Kelly, who's tough to hit. Right-hander comes set. Here's the 2-1. Martinez, a line drive base hit into right field. With it quickly is Silva. Sanford has to stop at second because he had to pull up and let the ball go through. Once again, Sanford and Martinez are on. It's up to the guys behind them to produce. Gamache struck out looking back in the first inning. The second hit of the night off of Michael Kelly. Martinez 1 for 1 officially. Michael, as you know, has hit extremely well for the Barnstormers from the left side of the plate. 363 at the moment. Gamache stands in with men at first and second, nobody out. Kelly will deliver a check swing, and the pitch is low. Ball 1, no strikes to Dan. It's not been a good homestand for Gamache, and you don't know who out of the Barnstormers players feeling more fatigued by the schedule. But certainly it would appear to have affected Gamache at least at the plate. There's a pickoff throw. Sanford is back as the shortstop Garcia had to handle the throw to the right side of the second base bag. Darian was back in easily. So many extracurriculars whenever Sanford is on the bases. He'll draw throws, pickoff throws. He'll cause pitchers to step off. 1-0, and last inning he got a balk, or 2 innings ago. He got a balk. York leads New Britain early, 5-2. They're in the bottom of the third inning. Long Island Somerset, that big battle to break the tie in the Liberty division. No score through 2. Sanford again doing his best to disrupt Kelly. The pitch is inside and low, and it may be working. Gamache is ahead in the count now, 2-0, and you sit here first and second, nobody out, 2-0 on your number 3 batter. You're salivating. Unfortunately, the Barnstormers have not been able to feast too often for runs on this homestand. 2-0. Gamache with a chopper foul off his foot. The count is 2-1. These are the moments when an offense is going well. You at least advance runners, but even more than that, you come up with the multi-run base hits. When things are not going well, which has been the case for the Barnstormers on this homestand, it's more of a struggle when you have the opportunities. On the homestand, prior to tonight, the Barnstormers had just had 29 hits in the 4 games and had crossed the plate only 9 times. They'd hit .234 as a team in the Somerset series, but then again, you're facing the league's top pitching staff. 2 balls, 1 strike to Gamache. Kelly working out of the stretch, looking back at Sanford, and again, now to the plate. The breaking ball is wide. 3-1. You'd like to think that Gamache is going to be able to sit dead red right here and do plenty of damage to Kelly. Gindel waits on deck. 3 balls, 1 strike to Gamache. Sanford and Martinez take their leads. Kelly glancing back. Here is the 3-1 pitch, and this is popped up on the left side. Chasing after it, the left fielder Thomas, and he chases it into foul ground and will not get there. 3-2 to Gamache. Do you want to start the runners here if you're Ross Peoples? And you have to think, oh, why not? But Gamache has been striking out a bit more lately. Again, it could be a sign of fatigue. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Sanford and Martinez take their lead. Sanford does go. The pitch, line drive, and a base hit into left field. Chasing after it is Thomas. Around second is Martinez. He'll pull up, and Gamache forced to stay at first. Dan Gamache drills an RBI single into left. Sanford had taken off and then put on the brakes for a moment to make sure the ball got past the third baseman Martinez. And Michael Martinez, as a result, had to break temporarily also. It's just good for 1 base and 1 run. Ball game tied at 2, but now you've got Gindel in with runners at first and second. Gamache knocking in his 42nd run of the season. Nobody out in the inning. And to Gindel, high and outside. That pitch simply slipped from Kelly, and he was fortunate that Valerio had time to react to it. Potential big inning for the Lancaster Barnstormers, who have already scored more against Kelly than they did the last time they saw him. Gindel awaits the 1-0, and he takes a strike. We draw even at 1 each. When Gamache first hit that liner the other way, I was thinking 25th double of the year, but then the runners got stacked up, and Thomas got over on it quickly. To Gindel, it is low, and ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. Caleb still leading in runs batted in the Atlantic League with 44. Gamache now 42. Telvin Nash and David Washington also had 41 at the start of play tonight. Gindel awaits the 2-1. Runners off first and second. Kelly will deliver. His breaking ball stays a bit up. It is 3 balls and a strike, and now Gindel is in the driver's seat. This has been a rough night for Kelly in terms of location. He's fallen behind hitters, especially at the top of the order. Martinez off second, Gamache off first, 3-1. Kelly to Gindel, line drive left field. On comes Thomas. He'll be there to make the catch, and darting quickly back into second is Martinez so as not to get doubled off. Frustrating night for Gindel, 0 for 2, both on lineouts with runners in scoring position. Joe Turdoslavich to the plate. Joe grounded to third, going the other way against Kelly for the final out back in the first inning. Gindel hit that ball too well, in fact. He couldn't get it to settle in front of Thomas. 1 gone in the inning now. Turdoslavich will try and get the Barnstormers into the lead for the first time in the game. Lancaster's been down 1-0 and caught up, down 2-1 and caught up. Terdoslavich takes a ball outside. It is 1-0. Michael Kelly's pitch count is soaring. He hasn't had anything resembling a quick inning, but this is the longest. Terdoslavich bats 1-0. A glance back, and now the pitch. Joe pops it up foul. That will carry out a play. 1 ball, 1 strike. Joe Terdoslavich, another guy who's in the throes of a slump. He only has 3 hits in his last 22 at-bats. And if you take it back further, he has just 6 out of his last 46. Batting only 130. But it goes hand in hand with the travel schedule. This ball club was going great guns in Sugar Land, but not since. Line drive by Terdoslavich. That is hooked down the right field line. It will put the Barnstormers into the lead. Martinez will score. Sprinting for third is Gamache, and into second base standing with an RBI double is Joe Terdoslavich. The Barnstormers breaking out. Everybody has hit the ball well this inning. Terdoslavich with his 12th double, and now he is in that tie with 41 runs batted in. Casey Hobson comes to the plate with Gamache at third, Terdoslavich at second. Just 1 out in the inning. Lancaster looking to feast here. 2 men in scoring position, and Stan Clyburn will continue to play his infielders back. Still early in the game. Kelly will go to work on Hobson. KC holds off a breaking ball that's good for a strike, 0-1. Lancaster with 2 on the board this half inning. Kelly with the 0-1. Gloved out of the dirt by Valerio. Ball 1 and strike 1 the count. They're underway in Sugar Land. The Skeeters fighting for their very lives now. The lead has been cut to 4 in the division over York as Sugar Land has lost 7 in a row. High Point just 1 game out in the Liberty. To Hobson, a swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Josh Bell waits on deck. Casey started the night down at 228. And you look at him, he's only 9 out of his last 60. Here's the 1-2 from Kelly. Ball 2 is outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Lancaster leading by 1 for Jonathan Albaladejo. Hobson trying to extend that lead by at least 1 more here. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And to KC, pulled on the right side, through for a base hit. Gamache will score. Terdoslavich has to settle for third. Hobson with an RBI single. Lancaster leads now 4-2, and Josh Bell will come to the plate. Pitch was around the outside corner, and Hobson hooked it around and wedged it in between Blackstone and Julio Ruiz, who were not playing far apart. Bell bats with Terdoslavich at third, Hobson at first, 3 runs home in the inning. The 1 out was loud off the bat of Gindel. Kelly goes to work on Bell and misses inside with his fastball. It is 1-0. It's amazing the difference in the appearance of Michael Kelly as opposed to the last time he was here when Lancaster managed only 1 run on 2 hits over 6 innings. 1 ball, no strikes to Bell. Kelly's pitch is ball 2 below the knees. 2-0. Parker Morin waiting on deck. Lancaster looking for an explosion here in this third inning. Already 3 runs on the board. Two balls and nothing. The delivery is low. It gets away from Valerio. Here comes Terdoslavich with the 4th run of the inning. Make it a 5-2 game. I think that'll be a wild pitch. We will double check with Joel Schreiner just to be certain. And that is indeed the case. Hobson up the second, and Bell has a 3-0 count. Lancaster leads 5-2. Kelly into his motion, he fires, it's fouled away. Bell with the green light at 3 balls and no strikes. A 4-run inning against Kelly. All these runs have been earned. It all started with a walk to Darian Sanford. Now to Bell. Ball 4 is outside. Kelly issues his 4th. This certainly hasn't been his night. Now facing Parker Morin. Singled up the middle his first time up. Hobson at second. Bell at first. Still just 1 out. Lancaster has had its way with Kelly in the 3rd inning. And Stan Clyburn has opted not to get anybody throwing as of yet down in his bullpen. He's riding Kelly here for over 70 pitches in the first 3 innings. Morin bats with 2 on. The delivery, swinging a foul at the plate. No balls and a strike. Zach Shank is on deck. He would be the 9th man to bat in the inning. 35 pitches in the 3rd inning alone for Kelly. 1 strike to Morin. The runners lead off first and second. Parker checks on a pitch away. Southern Maryland asking for help from Scott Hart and receiving none. Ball 1, strike 1. Gamache, Terdoslavich, and Hobson with ribbies this inning. A wild pitch scoring the other run. 5-2 Lancaster in the 3rd. 1 ball, 1 strike to Morin. Kelly with the high set. Here is the pitch. Parker, good looking swing. He fouls it into the twines. Make it 1-2. Jonathan Albaladejo, the beneficiary of the offensive surge on the part of the Lancaster Barnstormers. Most runs scored by the Barnstormers in an inning since a week ago Friday night. Line drive to the 3rd baseman. Martinez doesn't have anywhere to throw for a double play. Morin hits the ball hard. Both outs in this inning. Left-handed batters creaming a ball right at somebody in the opposite field. Thomas, the left fielder, catching Gindles, and Morin with a BB right to Martinez. 2 gone. Shank stepping in. Zach grounded into a force play back in the 2nd to close that out. To some extent, Kelly is fortunate this is just a 4-run inning. Shank trying to expand upon that. Goes after the first pitch and fouls it away. No balls and 1 strike. 9th man to bat in the Lancaster 3rd. Sanford, who started it off with the walk, is in the on-deck circle. Zach Shank is batting no balls and 1 strike. The pitch stays high. That was a fastball. 40th toss of the inning. Hobson off second. Bell leads from first. Shank batting at a ball and a strike. The pitch, a breaking ball, popped up toward right center field. Charging in is Silva, and he will be there for the final out. Inning done, but 4 runs have crossed the plate on 4 hits with no errors. Lancaster leaves 2, and through 3 tonight at Clipper Magazine Stadium, the Barnstormers enjoy a 5-2 lead.
Just like a baseball team needs pitchers, sluggers, relievers, and coaches to win games, a fire company needs firefighters, drivers, fire police officers, and administrative help to be successful. Fire company through training, preparing, and working together like a team. When an emergency occurs, your local fire company responds to help save lives and property. Maybe it's time you stepped up to bat and offered to hit a home run for your community. Go to becomeafirefighter.org and sign up. You won't regret taking a swing for the fences. Join the fire service team.
The constant energy, the tight turns and bustle of the city. Some survive it, others were made to conquer it. The first ever Lexus UX and UX F-Sport crossovers, crafted for the new frontier. UX, starting at $32,000. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
MSRP excludes delivery, processing, and handling fee of $1,025, which may be subject to change at any time. Excludes taxes, title, license, and optional equipment. Dealer price will vary.
Jose Julio Ruiz will start off the 4th inning for the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. The Barnstormers 5 runs, 5 hits, 1 error, 4 left. Southern Maryland 2 runs, 2 hits, an error. And the Blue Crabs have stranded just 1. Julio Ruiz popped up to the second baseman Gamache. Back in the 1st inning, Jonathan Albaladejo is outside with his fastball. 1-0 as we kick off the 4th inning. And Lancaster already with action in the bullpen, loosely behind Albaladejo. Swing and a miss by Julio Ruiz. Good downward action on the pitch from Albie. It is ball and a strike. That is the newcomer, Pedro Echemendia, beginning to tune up. He's had some AAA time with the St. Louis Cardinals. Ball 2 is down and away. Julio Ruiz with the advantage, 2-1. Albaladejo had to sit through a 41-pitch inning. A productive one for the Barnstormers. 2-1 offering. High fly ball, left center field. Sanford and Shank are both there. Sanford calls Shank off at the last minute for the catch. Albaladejo has retired 4 in a row. Corey Vaughn to the plate. Vaughn fouled out to catcher Parker Morin, leading off in the 2nd inning. Corey with 11 home runs on the year, always a threat, and a fine center fielder. Jonathan Albaladejo reaches the inside corner with a fastball. It is 0-1 as Echemendia continues to loosen up in the bullpen. He flew in here on Wednesday, was active for the 2nd game of the doubleheader, still has not pitched. Fouled away, and 2 strikes to Vaughn. He is a right-hander from Cuba, from Ciego de Avila, from the island nation. 0-2. The count to Vaughn. Here's the line. Albie bounces the pitch. It is ball 1 and 2 strikes. Albaladejo turns, brings it home. Bouncing ball left side, sneaking between Bell and Martinez. And Vaughn is aboard with the 1-out single here in the 4th inning. That is base hit number 3 for Southern Maryland. Charlie Valerio, the catcher, to the plate. Valerio grounded to the shortstop Martinez back in the 2nd inning. Seeing eye ground ball single. Not much you can do about that. Vaughn, the base runner. He's only stolen one this year. The Blue Crabs have not been a base stealing team. Over the last couple of years, they've hit for a much better average than what we're seeing this year. 3.3 runs per game for Southern Maryland offensively. Runner at first with one gone. That is lined out to right field. Gindel is going to have to play that off the base of the wall. Vaughn will stop at second. Valerio's on at first. And John Griffin comes to the plate with 2 on and 1 out. Griffin aboard on an error back in the second inning, and he scored a run. Suddenly the tying run at the plate as Southern Maryland comes back from the long Barnstormers half of the third inning to put together a threat of its own in the top of the fourth. Griffin stands in. 4 home runs, 6 doubles on the year. He's listed at 6'6", and he is at least that. He's been elsewhere, well-traveled, in fact, around this league. Strike taken. Albaladejo reaching the outside corner. It's 0-1. We're actually seeing more fastballs, it appears, from Jonathan here in this fourth inning. Last single off the bat of Valerio was loud. Gindel played it perfectly. He knew he had no chance on the fly. In the dirt. Again, nice job by Parker Morin. It is 1-1. Morin really is having overall a nice game. He's 1 for 2 at the plate. He's saved Albaladejo 3 or 4 times. Did let one get away back in the first. He's made the adjustment back there. 1 ball, 1 strike, and he has a pickoff. Griffin awaits, and the pitch. Ground ball, shortstop. Martinez feeds Gamache. 1, back to first in a double play. 6-4-3. Albaladejo works his way out of trouble here in the fourth. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 1 man left on. Through 3.5 innings tonight here in Lancaster, the Barnstormers have the 5-2 lead.
Remove the wrong piece and the whole structure might fall apart. No, I'm not talking about the Barnstormers lineup. I'm talking about the life-size Jenga game that is part of the Subaru Outdoor Experience down the right field line at Clipper Magazine Stadium. There's ping pong, huge dice to roll, and more. Trivia contests take place before every Saturday home game. Group bookings are available, so enjoy the games while at the game and come to the Subaru Outdoor Experience just below the Broken Bat deck.
Hi, this is Hall of Famer Carlton Fisk. Make your plans today to visit Cooperstown and the Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum. Reconnect with your memories of the game and make new memories with your family. Check out baseballhall.org today for more information.
Carlton Fisk had a lot of little boy in him right there, Joe.
The National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum, preserving history, honoring excellence, and connecting generations.
For the third time tonight, Darian Sanford will lead off an inning. He has done it successfully both previous times. He has walked, and each time he has scored a Barnstormers run. 0 for 0 officially for Sanford. That doesn't matter. Him getting on base and scoring runs does matter. He takes a swing at the first pitch from Kelly this time and fouls it off to the third base side, caught by the top corner of the screen. No balls and 1 strike to Darian. Michael Martinez and Dan Gamache to follow. Lancaster with a 5-2 lead in the bottom of the fourth inning. Sanford goes the other way, a looper down the left field line. That is in. Thomas over toward the bullpen to cut it off. Darian will sprint to second and be in standing with a leadoff double. That is his sixth two-base hit of the season. If you're making that kind of a play against Darian Sanford, you've got to be extremely careful not to let the ball get past you and get down into that left field corner, because if you've got to chase it backwards, Sanford is at least getting to third, if not all the way around. Martinez, the batter. Michael has walked and singled, 1 out of 1 with a run scored. Sanford leads off second. He takes off for third. A swing and a miss. The Valerio throw will not be in time. Martinez had everything he could do to knock it down. Sanford with his 24th stolen base of the year. He is at third base with nobody out. 1 strike on Martinez. Frank Martinez had to dive to his left to save the throw. The infield is pulling in. 1 strike to Martinez. The pitch is driven to center field. Racing back is Vaughn. He misjudged that initially. It's over his head and out to the wall. Sanford will coast home. Martinez around second, holding with a double. The Barnstormers lead 6-2, and the bats have been found again. They were missing entirely the last 2 nights. And taking out their fury against Michael Kelly. 7 hits now for the Barnstormers, 6 runs on the board. Lancaster with 3 doubles just in the last 2 innings. A 6-2 lead. Martinez now stands at second. The batter is Gamache, who has struck out and singled. He has a run scored and a run batted in. Kelly comes set, and Gamache almost gets hit by an inside fastball, and there was a bit more on that pitch than any other we have seen tonight from the right-hander Kelly. Gindel and Terdoslavich scheduled to follow here. Lancaster leads by 4, and still no one is throwing in Stan Clyburn's bullpen. To Gamache, fastball just catching the outside corner. It is 1 ball and 1 strike. Last inning, the Barnstormers kept taking. This inning, Lancaster is on 1. Gamache rolls this toward the middle. Garcia will knock it down only. He was there in position to make what would have been a very nice play against Gamache. Lancaster has runners at first and third, and it will be an infield single for Gamache. Garcia fully extended, got a glove on it. He will often make that play, but this time failed to do so. However, it didn't fall under the guise of ordinary effort. Caleb Gindel is 0 for 2 tonight, a liner to second and a liner to left, both with runners in scoring position. He's got another chance. Martinez at third, Gamache is on at first. Kelly sets. Here's the pitch to Gindel. Caleb taking low, ball 1 and no strikes. It has turned into a fairly ugly evening for Mr. Michael Kelly. His pitch count is up to 85, and he doesn't have an out in the 4th inning. 1-0 to Gindel. Caleb swings away and knocks a foul off to the left. That will carry off the field of play. We've got folks on the hillside tonight. The group areas are in pretty good shape. Folks, well, all over the sky boxes, the picnic area, the backyard by Annie Bailey's. Seating bowl is all right. You'd like to see a few more folks. 1-1. Gindel swings away. Ground ball. Base hit left field. Martinez scores. Gamache is going to make the dash for third. The throw coming in is late. Gindel goes behind it to second. The Barnstormers with a 7-2 lead. Gindel driving in his 45th run of the year. And still Lancaster has runners at second and third for Terdoslavich. And at long last, Stan Clyburn has action in his bullpen. A right-hander has begun to throw. Everything the Barnstormers hit tonight finding a spot. Terdoslavich will try and knock in 2 more here. Bouncing ball to first. And it's juggled by Julio Ruiz, so he has no chance for a play on Gamache, who sprints home. He does get Terdoslavich at first, 3 unassisted, but Joe will pick up his second RBI of the night. Gamache has scored. Gindel advances to third, and here is Hobson. KC 1 for 2 with a run batted in. 8-2 Lancaster in the bottom half of the fourth inning. The infield once again will play up for Southern Maryland. Kelly goes to work on Hobson, up and away. That was off speed, ball 1, no strikes. And it just doesn't look like Kelly has a whole lot left here. One ball and nothing. Hobson looks at ball 2 in the dirt, 2 balls and no strikes. Josh Bell is due next. Where was this the last 2 games for Buddy Bauman and John Anderson? The answer, the Barnstormers were playing Somerset. Here's a 2-0 Hobson. Good looking swing, but he fouled it back into the net. And now the count is 2 balls and a strike. It's amazing when you play the Patriots, at least when the Barnstormers play the Patriots. Their defenders always seem to be positioned perfectly for any ball hit in play. 2-1, driven foul to the left. The count to KC is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the Patriots have that remarkable pitching staff every year. Once again, leading the league in team earned run average. Terrific work from their left-handers those last 2 games, Thomas Dormany and David Holmberg. 2 balls, 2 strikes, swinging a foul back again. Hobson will continue at 2-2. Caleb Gindel, the runner over at third base. 1 out here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Already 3 runs across for the Barnstormers and a fairly comfortable 8-2 lead. Kelly ready to go. Hobson, again, a good-looking swing, but he's driving him foul back into the net. He'll stay in there at 2-2 as right-hander continues to loosen up down in the left field bullpen for the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. Once again, Kelly to Hobson, 2-2, swung on and missed. Hobson has gone on strikes. That is the 3rd for Kelly in the ball game, and this inning is up to Bell if it's to develop any further. Bell has struck out and walked. Sanford and Martinez are perfect tonight. Gamache with 2 hits. Terdoslavich, a pair of runs batted in. Here is Bell trying to pick up the runner from third base. Fastball well outside. It is 1-0 from Kelly. Lancaster's had an insane number of run-scoring opportunities in this game, and they've taken advantage of them tonight. To Bell, 1-0. Good-looking breaking ball from Kelly. It is 1-1. That was his 98th pitch of the evening. JB looks at another one for a second strike. It is 1-2. Parker Morin in the on-deck circle. Kelly trying to freeze Gindel over at third base. One-two offering, met and fouled back. Good rip for Bell there. But he and Hobson both continue to have their difficult times this year. 1-2. Ball 2 off the inside corner. Kelly has yet to complete the 4th inning, and he's thrown 100 pitches. Albladeo has had long waits the last couple of innings. Bell batting 2-2. Kelly ready to go. JB holds on the swing barely on an off-speed pitch down low. I wasn't sure which way that was going to go on the appeal to the third base umpire, Scott Hart, but he was convinced Bell did not make the turn. Full count to the Barnstormer third baseman, 3-2. Here's the payoff pitch. Bell with a swing and a foul off his foot. Another payoff pitch is coming. Gindel has been at third base seemingly for an eternity. Remember, the first 5 batters of this inning, as Sanford through Chudaslovich, were swinging early. Hobson and Bell between them have now soaked up 13, 14 pitches. That was since the arrival of Gindel over at third base. Payoff once again due to Bell. 3-2 is ball 4, inside and low. JB walks for the second time in a row. 5 issued by Kelly. Parker Morin, the catcher, will come to the plate. Morin is singled and lined sharply to third. Kelly still left out there. Runners at the corners. Michael Kelly's last start was against the High Point Rockers last Saturday, and he went 6 2/3 innings. Gave up 6 hits and 3 runs, walked 4, struck out 6. He is inside and low to Morin. Ball 1 and no strikes. But this has been an unconscionably difficult night for him. He's gone at least 5 innings in each of his last 5 starts, including a great game against the Barnstormers nearly a month ago. It is low to Morin. Parker has a 2-0 edge. Shank is on deck. Kelly is clearly laboring here in the 4th inning. Gindel at third, Bell the runner at first, Morin with a 2-ball and no strike advantage. Michael Kelly delivers low. That skips away from Valerio, and finally Gindel is able to score on the second wild pitch of the inning. The second that's allowed a run to score in the game. The other one last inning. Bell up the second. Morin is batting 3-0. They may just give him the 4th one here and get a fresh count against Shank, the only right-handed batter Kelly gets to see. 9th run on the scoreboard for Lancaster, matching 4-run innings in the 3rd and the 4th. 3 balls and nothing to Morin. The pitch gunned through for a strike. It is 3-1. Ball 4 is low. Morin does get the walk. Kelly has issued 6. And finally, Stan Clyburn, mercifully, is on his way out to the hill. He's going to make the change. The Barnstormers sent 9 men to the plate in the 3rd inning, and they're going to get the 9th man up again here in the 4th, but it will be against a new pitcher, another right-hander coming in. We'll identify who that is when we return here on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
With the new Express Sports football and car racing from the Pennsylvania Lottery, you can play your favorite sports at participating retailers, bars, and restaurants. Make your picks on your placelet, like touchdown pass on the third play, or the first 3 cars to cross the finish line, and watch the fast-paced lifelike action on the big screen. With drawings for cash prizes every 5 minutes, there's never a dull moment. Come on, come on. Yes!
Express Sports from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Compete from your seat. Players must be 18 or older. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Tuxedo Tour and Travel, your go-to motor coach bus company. Supplying your motor coach needs from day trips to multi-day excursions. Trips to New York, Baltimore, Washington, D.C., San Francisco, and all points in between. We can provide you with an itinerary or fulfill all your trips' transportation needs, providing casino trips monthly. Go to www.tuxedotour.com or give us a call at 717-269-3124.
The new pitcher for the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs is right-hander John Hayes, 6'6" and 235 pounds, out of Denison, Texas. Hayes is 26 years of age. Zach Shank to step in against him. Shank is 0 for 2 in the ballgame. He bats with Bell at second, Morin at first. 2 gone here in the lower half of the 4th inning. The Barnstormers enjoying a 9-2 cushion on Whoopee Cushion night here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. The 2 runners take their leads as Shank digs in. Hayes will go to work. Zach looks at a fastball, good for a strike. It is 0-1. 109 pitches for Michael Kelly. He allowed 9 hits, walked 6, struck out 3, 2 wild pitches and a balk. Turning things over to Hayes, who is 0-3 with a 3.79 earned run average. Inside for a ball. Shank will bat at 1-1. Darian Sanford, who has scored 3 runs in the game, is in the on-deck circle. The runs for the Barnstormers have come one at a time. Nobody has had a 2 RBI hit, but Lancaster hasn't needed one. To Shank, 1 ball, 1 strike. Check swing and a foul to the right. Hayes in control at 1 ball and 2 strikes. John Hayes, who has only pitched as high as the single A level in a major league organization. Join the Blue Crabs out of the American Association from last year. 1-2. Shank swings, loops this out to shallow left field. Coming on is Thomason. Once again, he will be there. Shank got a little bit jammed. The inning is over, but the Barnstormers pick up 4 runs. They do it on the 4 hits that started the inning. No errors played a role. And as it turned out, 2 more runners were left on base. We're through 4, and at the end of 4 innings, it is 9-2 in favor of the Lancaster Barnstormers.
Like craft beers? Well, the best place to be in Lancaster then is Clipper Magazine Stadium. That's right. Celebrate baseball or just a night with your friends at the Broken Bat Deck down the right field line. The Broken Bat features more than 20 local craft breweries and product from a local winery. Food is sold off a pub-style menu. And new for 2019, there will be a trivia contest every Saturday evening beginning at 5, hosted by Cheaters Never Prosper. So get together, hang out with your friends, make some new ones, and enjoy a night of craft beer sampling along with the Barnstormers game.
Tuxedo Tour and Travel. If you want to be there, we'll get you there. New York, Washington, D.C. We service all casinos, day trips, or multi-day excursions. Lebanon's #1 tour bus company, providing monthly casino trips. Sands of Bethlehem, Resort of Atlantic City, Mohegan Sun of Pocono Downs. Go to www.tuxedotour.com or give us a call, 717-269-3124.
Here's Tony Thomas to lead off the fifth inning. Once again, Jonathan Albaladejo had a wait that was far longer than ordinary. Lancaster for the second straight inning, sending 9 men to the plate and scoring 4 times. Tony Thomas walked, was eventually picked off back in the second. Albaladejo is high to him, ball 1 and no strikes. I don't anticipate Jonathan going longer than this fifth inning. And right now we see Anderson De La Rosa jogging down to the bullpen with the gear on. Breaking ball, this is hammered high and far, but also foul down the left field side. Thomas bats at a ball and a strike. Sure, now you hook it foul, Tony. Of course, Thomas hit the walk-off grand slam against the Barnstormers that ended the season last year in the playoffs. Albaladejo back. This is popped up along the first base side. Casey Hobson taking charge. The first baseman coming in for the catch. It was in fair territory. 1 out. Here is Edwin Garcia. He singled in a run back in the second inning. Garcia, who didn't drive in a run all season against the Barnstormers 2 years ago, and that RBI back in the second inning, his first of this year in 6 games. And we're going to see Pedro Echemendia once again warming up in the Barnstormers bullpen. Brian Mayer was let go, so whoever is not catching between Parker Moore and Anderson De La Rosa has to warm up the guys in the bullpen now. Mayer had been doing the bulk of that. Strike on the outside corner to Garcia. He winces. Albaladejo has him at 0-2, but he did back in the second inning also. 1 out, nobody on here in the fifth. Albaladejo to Garcia. Breaking ball, twists low. Ball 1, 2 strikes. I think Lancaster will be glad to get 5 innings out of Albaladejo tonight. I think Albaladejo will be glad to get 5 innings out of Albaladejo. 1 and 2. Garcia chips this out to shallow right. Racing in is Gendel. Caleb slides, and he makes the catch for out number 2. Put a star by that one in the scorebook. 2 are down, and Kent Blackstone, the second baseman, will come to the plate. Blackstone is 0 for 2. Lancaster up 9-2 here in the fifth inning. Albaladejo not overpowering anybody. He's being the crafty 36-year-old Jonathan Albaladejo, but this guy knows how to get it done. It's a Blackstone, popped up foul on the left side. Shank starts after it, but has no play. It is 0-1. Albie has been able to keep the ball around the plate and keep the Blue Crabs off balance. 4 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned in 4 2/3 innings. To Blackstone, swing and a miss. No balls and 2 strikes. Albie has walked 1, struck out 1. I don't think he has the capacity any longer to approach his 164 strikeouts, the league record he set 3 years ago. 0-2. Blackstone checks on a breaking ball. It ended up low, perhaps outside. Ball 1, 2 strikes. 9-2 Lancaster. And Sanford will get the lead off an inning again. 4th time in the game. He'll do it against Hayes in the 5th. 1-2. Blackstone lets it go and looks at strike 3 called. Albaladejo with a 1-2-3 inning. Here in the top half of the 5th. Nothing doing for Southern Maryland. We're halfway through regulation tonight. At the end of 4.5 innings, Lancaster leading 9-2.
Just like a baseball team needs pitchers, sluggers, relievers, and coaches to win games, a fire company needs firefighters, drivers, fire police officers, and administrative help to be successful. Fire companies need to function as a well-oiled team, and through training, preparing, working together like a team in an emergency, your local fire company responds to help save lives and property. It's time you stepped up to bat to hit a home run for your local Lancaster County Fire Company. Go to becomeafirefighter.org, sign up, and take a swing for the fences. Join the Lancaster County Fire Service team.
Enjoy baseball and stay in shape. The Lancaster Barnstormers have a great package for our more experienced fans to do both. The Silver Stormers package is open to all fans 55 and above. Get a ticket to all Tuesday home games. Take a walk around our beautiful stadium during the day on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And get a Silver Stormers t-shirt to sport to all of these events. The Silver Stormers is presented by A&E Audiology and Hearing Aid Center. Sign up today at the stadium or at LancasterBarnstormers.com.
Darian Sanford has already crossed the plate 3 times tonight. 2 walks and a double for him. He has a stolen base. It's been a great night for Darian leading off innings, and he gets to do it for the 4th time in the 5 frames the Barnstormers have batted. Lancaster up 9-2 over Southern Maryland. Sanford digging in against Hayes. The first pitch is dribbled foul over toward the Lancaster dugout. 0-1. 8 of the 9 runs charged to Michael Kelly, the starter, go down as earned. The exception was the first inning run, the result of the throwing error by Blackstone attempting to double Michael Martinez off second base. Foul ball back. Sanford trails 0-2. Martinez and Gamache will follow here. Nine hits for the Barnstormers in the game with the 9 runs on the board. This is the most runs scored by the Barnstormers since June 12th when they put 12 on the board at Sugar Land. And a lot of that was due to all those walks from poor Lucas Irvin in that day game. And he was let go shortly afterwards. I felt so badly for Irvin. 1-2. Just high, and Sanford, who's been largely ahead in the count tonight, has worked it now back to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hayes goes back to work. Sanford fouls it to the net, and he's being stubborn at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sanford has come so far since those first 100 at-bats of the year. The difference has been remarkable. 2-2. Darian looks at ball 3 high, and he's trying to force his way on base once again. Sanford started off 17 for 100, and he's now 33 out of his last 94. The payoff pitch is coming. Sanford line drive up for it. Goes the third baseman Martinez, and there's 1 out. Great at bat for Sanford, though. It turns out to be unproductive, but he forced it to 3-2. Got a good swing in, just could not elevate it over the third baseman. Frank Martinez needed his 6 feet 1 inch frame. The batter is Martinez. 2 for 2 for Michael tonight. He pops up the first pitch, and again, Martinez has it near him. He has trouble seeing it, but recovers and makes a basket catch about knee high while darting back into the infield. There was a moment against the twilight sky that Martinez lost that. 2 outs, Dan Gamache stepping in. Gamache with a pair of hits tonight to get himself back on track after that somewhat painful Somerset series. Pedro Echemendia once again warming up in the Lancaster bullpen. I have to figure we'll see him in the 6th inning. To Gamache, a strike at the knees. It is 0-1. Albaladejo does exactly what the Barnstormers need him to do here tonight. To Gamache. Hayes is able to reach the outside corner. It's 0-2. Right-hander Hayes into his motion. Fastball up and away. Wasted to the Barnstormers' second baseman. Ball 1, 2 strikes. 42 runs batted in now for Gamache. 42 for Cherdaslevich. Gindel with 45. 3 batters among the top 5 in the league and runs batted in. And yet offensively, the club as a whole in the middle of the pack. Swung on and missed. Gamache is set down, striking out for the second time in the game. It's a clean inning for Hayes. He's retired all 4 he has faced. We're through 5 innings. Lancaster with a 9-2 lead.
Hi, I'm the Coco Kid reporter.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
The Barnstormers go to the bullpen and bring on Pedro Echemendia. The first time we have gotten a look at him. He joined the ball club on Wednesday between games of the doubleheader. Echemendia is from the island nation of Cuba. He is 28 years of age, 6 feet tall, and 185 pounds. He pitched in Cuba for 2 seasons in the Cuban National Series for his hometown, the Ciego de Avila team. Second year there, he pitched very well. He does not strike out a lot. His career strikeouts just 128 in 182 and 2/3 innings in the minor leagues here in the U.S., but he's also only walked 47, and that is likely what drew the eye of manager Ross Peoples. He's gotten to AAA a couple of different times with the St. Louis Cardinals. First offering here, high and outside to Ruby Silva. Ball 1-0. Silva, Martinez, and Julio Ruiz scheduled in the 6th inning. Echemendia delivers. It's fouled away. 1 ball and 1 strike. We'll see what Pedro's got. He has only made a handful of starts, just 5 in the minor leagues, 3 for the Springfield Cardinals, Double-A team 2 years ago. But he also recorded 5 saves for that ball club. 1-1 to Silva, who's also from Cuba. Pop fly out to center. It's that tough twilight time. Sanford having trouble, and Martinez able to direct him to it. And he makes the catch for out number 1. Echemendia gets his first out here in the Atlantic League. And Frank Martinez, the third baseman, will come to the plate. Martinez 0 for 2 with an RBI. Jonathan Albaladejo allowing only 4 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned in 5 innings of work tonight. So good to see Albie back out there. Swing and a miss at an off-speed delivery. 0-1 on Martinez. You can't pitch at that level in Cuba, where they absolutely adore the game of baseball, and not have an idea how to play the game. No balls and 1 strike. And he did it as a youngster. He's only 18, 19 years old. He got to the Cardinals organization in 2015 when he was, at that point, 24. Initially pitching just a couple hours from here at State College in the New York Penn League, and he was 6-1 there with a 2.09 ERA. 0-2, just beaten foul. It looks like Echemendia has tremendous downward movement on his pitches. 1 out, nobody on board. Frank Martinez batting, and then it will be Jose Julio Ruiz, who also is Cuban. 0-2, and it's in the dirt. Martinez would not bite. Ball 1, 2 strikes. The Cuban people are certainly in love with this game. There's such a rift between the people who stayed in Cuba, the Cubans who have come to Florida. Ball 2 is low, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And you'd like to see the Cuban people reunited. Somewhere down the road. Driven out to left field, hustling back is Shank. He'll turn, square up, and be there. Frank Martinez retired, 2 outs. And Jose Julio Ruiz will come to the plate. Julio Ruiz is 0 for 2 on the night. Well, the one thing that is a huge plus here in the 6th inning, and Ross Peoples has to have this warm feeling right now coursing through his veins. That's something other than the humidity here tonight, but it's that he has signed a pitcher in Echemendia who's out there throwing strikes with a 9-2 lead. It's something, a change that had to be made. Up the middle, but Martinez is stationed right there. He will fire on. Julio Ruiz gunned down, and it is a clean inning from Clean Eats. We'll go to the bottom half of the 6th with the score: Lancaster 9 and Southern Maryland 2.
With the new Express Sports football and car racing from the Pennsylvania Lottery, you can play your favorite sports at participating retailers, bars, and restaurants. Make your picks on your placelet, like touchdown pass on the 3rd play, or the first 3 cars to cross the finish line, and watch the fast-paced lifelike action on the big screen. With drawings for cash prizes every 5 minutes, there's never a dull moment. Come on, come on. Yes!
Express Sports from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Compete from your seat. Players must be 18 or older. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
There's a new force in town. Know any young baseball fans? Make sure they're a part of the Storm Force Kids Club presented by Commonwealth Charter Academy. For only $25, kids receive 12 field box tickets. To go with the tickets, the Storm Force members will get a backpack, a t-shirt, an invitation to Silo's birthday party, and a chance to meet Barnstormer players over a bowl of ice cream, plus a lot more. What's better than that? Sign up at LancasterBarnstormers.com or stop by the stadium to get those kids involved.
Caleb Gindel ready to lead off the home half of the 6th inning. Lancaster with a 9-2 lead over the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. as much as the Barnstormers have been controlled by Somerset over the years, it's reversed when Lancaster gets together with Southern Maryland. This is the team that Lancaster has seemed to have a hold over. Southern Maryland has never won the season series, although it has been tied 5 times in the 11 prior seasons. Lancaster's up this year 4-1. Foul back by Gindle against Hayes. It is 0-1. Caleb 1 for 3 with an RBI tonight. Fastball is wide. It is 1-1. Gindle got 3 pretty good swings in against Kelly, but only 1 ball got through, and that was the ground single driving in a run back in the 4th inning. Here comes the 1-1. Ball 2 is outside and low. Caleb with the edge, 2-1. Terdoslavich and Hobson scheduled to follow. Got a nice rowdy group down to my left here. They're enjoying the night. Here comes the 2-1. Gindle drives it the other way, slicing, and it will go foul and up onto the hill. Far back onto the hill by the time it landed. 2-2 to the Barnstormers right fielder. We'll talk about the love of the Cuban people for baseball, but down around Pace, Florida, they raised a guy who's all about this game too. 2-2, swing and a miss. Gindle went after a pitch in his eyes right there. Fooled by Hayes, who has struck out 2 in a row and retired all 5 he's faced. Joe Terdoslavich to the plate. Terdoslavich has driven in 2 tonight. He is 1 out of 3 officially. Daryl Thompson and Kyle Davies meeting up tomorrow night here at 6:30 with fireworks to follow. And the last time those two met, it was a 3-1 Lancaster victory in 1 hour, 59 minutes here on a Sunday afternoon. Fouled back, no balls and 1 strike. If they pitch like they did 4 weekends ago, we might have to wait to launch the fireworks. It might not be dark enough by the time we get done. Terdoslavich batting 0-1, Hayes to the plate, and he misses. It is 1 ball and 1 strike. 45-38, the crowd tonight at Clipper Magazine Stadium. Again, they're spread out. The seating bowl isn't that filled, but we've got picnic area, backyard by Annie Bailey's. It's a good night in the group areas. Popped up into foul ground by Terdoslavich. Over comes Martinez, circling, and even though he loses his balance and goes down, he has made the catch. Second time in 2 innings that Martinez has had a huge adventure with a pop-up from a left-handed batter. The last time you could ascribe it to the twilight sky, but it's too dark for that now. He headed over almost to the railing and then had to come back several feet, just about retreating to the grass, and he ended up falling down in the process of making the catch. Now here is Hobson. KC looks at a fastball from Hayes for strike 1. And as difficult as the Barnstormers lineup was tonight for Michael Kelly, it's been pretty easy for John Hayes. Outside to Hobson, a ball and a strike. The 5 left-handed batters he has faced, he has struck out 2, and everybody else has hit the ball to the third baseman Martinez. Hobson batting 1-1. Next offering, swing and a miss. We go to 1-2. Sunday's series finale, Jared Lakin will match up against Tommy Thorpe. We'll have a pair of lefties on the hill, and then it's down to High Point once again for the Barnstormers. Breaking ball, check swing, and a foul. Hobson was trying to get out of the way. That was completely accidental contact. One ball, 2 strikes, continuing to the left-handed swinging first baseman. Ground ball up the middle, base hit center field. Blackstone was cheating toward the hole. Hobson produces his second hit of the night, and the Barnstormers' 10th. That is the 17th two-hit game for Hobson this season. To this point, has not had 3 in any contest. Bell tonight with a 2-walk night. He struck out looking back in the second. He has walked both trips since. And he retakes the team lead in bases on balls from Gindel. They're sharing it back and forth. Ball 1 high and outside from Hayes. 1-0 to Bell. JB's walked 32 and Gindel 31. Orioles lead the Indians tonight. Wow, 8-0 in the top of the 7th inning at Camden Yards. Ball 2 is very high, and Hayes has seemed quite out of rhythm on these two pitches. 2-2 between Kansas City and Toronto. Play is in the 7th. Atlanta owns a 3-1 lead over the struggling New York Mets. They're in the 7th inning. Red 6, Cubs nothing, bottom 6. To Bell, he looks at a strike. 2-1. The Phillies trail. Miami is up 4-2, play through 5.5 innings. Washington 2, Detroit 1 at the end of 6. 2-1 to Bell, pulled foul on the ground over toward the Lancaster dugout. 2-2, Morin in the on-deck circle for Lancaster. Texas 4-0 over Tampa Bay. They're in the bottom of the 6th inning. Seattle 1-0 over Houston. Lower half of the 3rd. And to Bell, high, 3-2. Josh Bell has all but lived at a full count in this game. Milwaukee with a 2-1 advantage over Pittsburgh through 3. Minnesota and the White Sox tied at 2. They're in the top of the 4th. The LA Dodgers 3 in the 1st inning at Colorado tonight. Ball 4 is high. Hobson to second. Bell has walked for the 3rd consecutive plate appearance. Parker Morin will dig in. He is singled, lined out, and walked. Still to come tonight, it is Oakland against the Angels in Anaheim. St. Louis at San Diego. Arizona is at San Francisco. Lancaster already leading by 7 tonight. Parker Morin is batting for the 4th time. He is up with Hobson at second, Bell at first, 2 outs. The pitch from Hayes, whistled down the right field line, fair into the corner. Hobson will come around to score. Bell will be held at 3rd. Morin in at 2nd, standing with a double. The Barnstormers lead 10-2. Parker Morin has had one impressive evening at the plate with the arm, diving on Albaladejo pitches. And he has just doubled in the Lancaster run number 10 for the ball game. Zach Shank stands in. He is 0 for 3, 2 flyouts and an inning-ending force play. Bell is at 3rd, Morin at 2nd in a 10-2 ball game. Still no home run for the Barnstormers tonight, but there have been doubles galore. First pitch strike in on Shank. It is 0-1. It's the 4th Lancaster 2-base hit. 2 men in scoring position. Shank bats 0-1. The delivery, that is cut on and fouled at the plate. 2 quick strikes on the Barnstormers left fielder. Darian Sanford waits on deck. The Barnstormers taking the opportunity to bust loose. This inning all developing with 2 outs. Hobson a single up the middle. Bell picking up yet another walk. Morin torches a double down the right field line. Boy, did he hit that ball hard. Shank trails 0-2. Hayes ready to go. And the pitch taken outside. Ball 1, 2 strikes. Pitching typically has not been the issue for this Southern Maryland ball club, but Lancaster has gotten to the Crabs staff tonight. 1-2 on Shank. The 2 runners lead. The pitch lifted foul out of play. The shortest inning for Southern Maryland pitching by far was the bottom of the 5th. Hayes retiring the side in order on 12 pitches. But there have been 3 significantly long innings. 1 and 2, Shank a bouncer past the mound. Garcia will have to charge and cut loose the sidearm throw. It's in time to retire Shank, ending the inning. But the Barnstormers pick up the 10th run of the night on 2 hits with no errors. 2 runners are stranded. We're done with 6 here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. The Barnstormers with a 10-2 lead.
When in need of new appliances for your home, come to Gockenauer's in East Petersburg and see what buying from a hometown dealer is all about. We offer the best brands at the best prices, plus deliver, install, and service everything we sell. Don't get burned by another chain store taking your money and then going out of business. Come to the place who has been helping Lancaster County for 70 years. Your hometown dealer making the best brands better. Gockenauer's in East Petersburg.
Lancaster Bible College has been around since 1933, but did you know that they offer degrees in much more than just Bible? LBC offers degrees in criminal justice, business, professional counseling, and more, as well as graduate and seminary degrees in areas like Christian care, chaplaincy, education, and leadership studies. To learn more about LBC and the programs they offer, visit lbc.edu. That's lbc.edu.
Six innings in the books tonight. 10 runs on 11 hits for the Barnstormers. Lancaster guilty of an error. The Barnstormers have left 8. 2 runs, 4 hits, 1 error. Just 2 left for Southern Maryland. Corey Vaughn leads off the 7th. Vaughn's 1 for 2. He goes after Echemendia's first pitch and lobs it out the right. Caleb Gindel coming on to make the catch. Echemendia has been exceedingly efficient. He's gotten 4 outs on 11 pitches. And hopefully this is a trend with him because the Barnstormers very badly need it. The reasons that, or the reason really, that the Barnstormers let Acevedo and Vasquez go is that they were not able to throw strikes with any consistency, both averaging better than a walk an inning. Here's Charlie Valerio taking a pitch low from Echemendia. Ball 1, no strikes. 1 out in the 7th. Barnstormers pitching's retired 8 consecutive batters. It started with John Griffin grounding into a double play. There's a ground ball and a base hit into left. Valerio is aboard with 1 out here in the 7th inning. 2 out of 3 for Valerio tonight. He seems to be the one guy swinging the bat well for Southern Maryland. Here is Griffin, who's hit 2 ground balls to short. Good for 2 outs. The first, he reached on an error and scored. The second, he wrapped into a 6-4-3 double play. 1 out, runner at first base here in the 7th inning. The Barnstormers up 10-2. Here's the set. Echemendia to the plate. He is inside. 1-0. First time he's had to work from the stretch. 28-year-old right-hander. He had decent years in the St. Louis organization. Swing and a miss. Griffin batting 1-1. Echemendia heated that pitch up. Runner at first base, Valerio. Hobson not even bothering to hold him on. Playing the top half of the 7th inning tonight here in Lancaster. To Griffin, here's the 1-1. Look out, he got chased out of there. Echemendia driving the pitch inside, running it in toward the big arms of John Griffin. 2 balls, 1 strike. I wonder if it's more difficult for a pitcher from Cuba to make the transition than any other Latin American country. Strike 2 is called on Griffin, 2-2. Because Cuba has been largely isolated from the rest of the Western Hemisphere, things that thawed over the last decade or so. Even the Spanish language has altered a little bit. Fouled away. Still 2-2. And I remember dealing with Yoslan Herrera, who was here back in 2013. And Yoslan and I became very good friends over the course of that year. But ordinarily, when I speak Spanish, and mine is by no means perfect, but I do speak some. Usually when I speak Spanish to a Spanish-speaking player, they can understand me. Yoslan could not. And I always had to have somebody intervene when we were dealing with business and not just casual conversation. Strike 3 called at the knees. Griffin is gone looking. First strikeout for Echemendia. 3rd for Lancaster pitching tonight. Tony Thomas will come to the plate. But thanks to some help from other Spanish-speaking players on that club, I was able to assist Yoslan with some things, and he was maybe a little bit harder to get to know initially, but it turned out he was a really terrific guy. Went back to the major leagues after leaving here, one of our 12. Swing and a miss. Thomas down a strike. Tony Thomas has walked and popped up the first. Lancaster took control of this game in the bottom of the 3rd inning and stretched that lead in the bottom of the 4th. 10-2, 2 outs and a runner on here in the 7th. Echemendia fires outside. Looked like he was a bit off balance on that follow through. It's the first time we've really seen that. He's been spotting the ball fairly well here. Retiring 5 out of 6. Echemendia is a guy that Ross had talked about in spring training and decided to take a pass, but he kept an eye on him. 2-1 now. The count to Thomas as he misses low. And he ended up with Butch for 8 appearances out in Chicago with the Dogs. I don't know. Russ did not indicate that there might have been some kind of side agreement there. 3-1. And the reason for the pass on Echemendia, or reasons, the combination of Brandon Lawson, whose contract was purchased before the season started. Jake McCaslin, as you know, he looked tremendous early before the health in his arm started to deteriorate. And Brian Harper. 3-1, ball 4 high and inside. Thomas walks, and now you've got runners at first and second with 2 outs for Edwin Garcia. Garcia is single to left, and he's been robbed by Caleb Gindel on a bloop toward right field. 2 on, 2 out here in the 7th inning. Ross, with the lead not jeopardized yet, still wants to see what he's got in Echemendia. A 1-2-3 inning in the 6th, a little bit more friction from the Blue Crabs here in the 7th inning. A 1-out single, a 2-out walk. Garcia stands in. Echemendia into the motion. The right-hander fires outside. It is ball 1. Should Albaladejo end up with the win tonight, and it looks you would think likely. It would only be the 13th win for a Barnstormers starting pitcher all season. And the starters have not been really the problem. The regular rotation starters have in general been fine. The spot starts have jumped the starters' ERAs up quite a bit when we've thrown some of the. Granite's is the only guy who's done well. 1-1, Echemendia fires high, 2 balls and a strike. Now, things are getting a little bit shakier here in the 7th inning. Kent Blackstone, the second baseman, due next. Valerio at second, Thomas at first with 2 outs. Second inning in the Atlantic League debut of Pedro Echemendia. Here comes the 2-1. Driven down the right field line by Garcia, but that will fade foul in front of the pole. Blue Crabs were racing around the diamond, but Garcia knew. He never left the batter's box. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs. You want to see Echemendia post a second strong inning here. Get out of this without giving up any runs. Two balls, 2 strikes. Echemendia sets, brings it home, and he drops ball 3 low. Valerio and Thomas get the early break. Lancaster starts additional action in the bullpen. And that is Logan Sawyer getting tuned up down there. And Logan threw 2 innings last night. 3-2 with 2 gone. Garcia a chance to do some harm here. Valerio and Thomas go. The pitch is grounded slowly on the left side. Bell has the long throw to make, but it's there. Backhanded pickup by Hobson to close out the inning. Echemendia survives a tight spot. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. Southern Maryland leaves 2. It is time for the 7th inning stretch, and something unseemly going on here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. We've got a big whoopee cushion promotion at the moment. We'll get you to a commercial break before it starts.
The National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum is a place with thousands of stories to be told. It's a place to relive baseball's greatest moments and share them with future generations. It's a place to experience the game and how it has shaped our history. Cooperstown is a destination with something for the entire family. Our stories to tell, your memories to share. Plan your trip to the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown at baseballhall.org.
Enjoy baseball and dinner package weeknights at Clipper Magazine Stadium. Monday nights feature an all-you-can-eat pig roast in the Howler Pavilion, courtesy of Hess's Barbecue. Tuesday night is all-you-can-eat chicken and ribs in the pavilion, or all-you-can-eat tacos in the Bobby Rahal Lexus Suite. Wednesday nights are Wiener Wednesdays with $1 Burke's hot dogs from the main concession stands, or all-you-can-eat wings from Joe's Wings and Wieners upstairs. Call 717-509-HITS to order your tickets or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com. And we'll see you at the ballpark.
10-2 Lancaster. Farm Show night coming up tomorrow here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. Fireworks following the ball game. We expect a big crowd tomorrow night. We could get a storm or 2 during the day. Do not, if that happens, do not let that dissuade you from coming to the game tomorrow night. We can easily survive a passing thunderstorm or two during the day. We do not call off games for that. We go to the bottom of the 7th tonight. Darian Sanford leads off for the Barnstormers. The 5th time he has led off an inning in this game. He is 1 for 2 with 2 walks. He has scored 3 runs. Hayes is off the outside corner for ball 1. 3rd inning of work for the right-handed reliever. 3rd full inning. He's given up 2 hits and a walk and 1 run to this point. To Sanford 1-0. Darian with a foul to the left. A ball and a strike. Sanford had a great at-bat against Hayes the last time. Worked the count to 3-2 and smoked a line drive to the third baseman Martinez. Frank had to go up for it. One ball, 1 strike. And to Sanford, foul to the top corner of the screen. Hayes works ahead at 1-2. It looks like Echemendia's night is over, and his debut goes well. Lancaster will go to a 3rd right-hander. And that may be Meister now that I look again. Ground ball to first, chopped right to Julio Ruiz. Sanford's retired, 1 out, and Michael Martinez will come to the plate. Meister wears 39, and Sawyer wears 35. They both have the shaggy dark brown hair coming out from under the cap. Logan is the bigger of the two. They're both fairly hard-throwing right-handers. Meister throws harder. Michael Martinez taking a pitch outside. It is ball 1-0. The Barnstormers with a 10-2 lead here in the bottom of the 7th inning. 1-0 to Martinez, poked foul. Hayes, except for a brief spurt in the 6th inning, has pitched well. 1 ball and 1 strike. It makes far more sense that it's Meister throwing since Sawyer did throw 2 last night. Strike 2 on the outer edge. Martinez trailing in the count here in the bottom of the 7th inning. The other games in the Atlantic League tonight, far more important as far as the races are concerned. 2-2. Inside and low to Martinez. York is up 9-5 over New Britain in the bottom of the 7th inning. Somerset has taken a 1-0 lead over Long Island. That is in the top of the 7th. Battle for first place there. And High Point leads Sugar Land 8-3 in the top of the 5th inning. If those scores all hold, the lead for Sugar Land over York will be merely 3 at the end of the night. Payoff pitch, ball 4 is outside. Martinez is a base runner for the 4th time in the game. Lancaster has drawn its 8th walk. Here's Gamache. Dan is 2 for 4. A run scored and a run batted in. And on the other side, Somerset would be up by 1 over Long Island and High Point. As long as High Point holds on, the Rockers are 1 game behind somebody and a tie for 2nd. It depends on who wins the Somerset-Long Island game. And again, that's just 1-0 in the 7th inning. First pitch strike on Gamache. It is 0-1. Caleb Gindel waits on deck. 1 out, 1 on in the lower half of the 7th inning here at Clipper Magazine Stadium on a warm but pleasant Friday evening. Gamache goes the other way. Fly ball out the left. Tony Thomas settles back underneath to make the catch. Martinez retreats to first, and with 2 outs, Gindel will come to the plate. Caleb just 1 for 4 in the ball game tonight. His average threatening to dip below 300 for the first time in a while. The middle of the batting order did not get much done against Somerset. Gindel was 4 out of 12 in that series, but he had the 4 hits the first 2 games. It was 0 for 6 the last 2. Ground ball, shortstop, handled easily by Garcia. Short throw underhanded to Blackstone. 6-4 for the inning-ending force play. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left. We're trying to cruise toward the finish line of this one. We'll go to the 8th inning. Lancaster leading by a 10-2 margin.
Just like a baseball team needs pitchers, sluggers, relievers, and coaches to win games, a fire company needs firefighters, drivers, fire police officers, and administrative help to be successful. Fire companies need to function as a well-oiled team too, through training, preparing, and working together like a team. When an emergency occurs, your local fire company responds to help save lives and property. Maybe it's time you stepped up to bat and offered to hit a home run for your community. Go to becomeafirefighter.org and sign up. You won't regret taking a swing for the fences. Join the fire service team.
The constant energy, the tight turns and bustle of the city. Some survive it, others were made to conquer it. The first ever Lexus UX and UX F-Sport crossovers, crafted for the new frontier. UX, starting at $32,000. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
MSRP excludes delivery, processing, and handling fee of $1,025, which may be subject to change at any time. Excludes taxes, title, license, and optional equipment. Dealer price will vary.
Christian Meister is in for the 8th inning. Ross has to be very pleased with the first Barnstormers appearance for Pedro Echemendia. He went 2 innings, allowed 1 hit, walked 1, struck out 1. Now Meister taking over. You have to go kitty corner through the North American continent to find Meister's point of origin. Christian from Tacoma, Washington. 6'3", 210-pounder, 25 years of age. In his 5th Atlantic League appearance. 4 hits allowed in 3 1/3 innings. Here's his initial offering to Kent Blackstone. It's fouled back to the screen. No balls and a strike. The 4 hits in 3 1/3 innings has gone along with 7 walks. He's given up 8 runs. A couple of home runs against him, including a grand slam by Stephen Cardullo down in High Point. No balls, 1 strike to Blackstone. He is 0 for 3 in the game. High and outside from Meister. It is ball 1 and strike 1. It's pitched in Australia during the winter. 1-1 pitch is on the way. Meister is well wide with a fastball. So now 2 balls and a strike. Albaladejo in line for the win here tonight. The Barnstormers up 10-2. Meister to work the 8th and maybe the 9th, depending on how things go. Blackstone awaits the 2-1. Meister fires and misses away. Ball 3 and a strike. Meister back, and strike 2 is called on the outside corner. Blackstone bats with a full count here. Ruby Silva and Frank Martinez to follow. 8th inning of baseball here tonight. The payoff is due to Blackstone. It is high, and Southern Maryland picks up the leadoff walk here in the 8th inning.
Your ticket stubs tonight. Fireworks are not scheduled for tonight. However, our ushers will be passing out vouchers to every fan in attendance for
the batter is Silva. 1 for 3 with a run scored.
Fireworks game at the box office. Thank you.
Blackstone already on board here in the 8th inning. Infield set up, double play depth. Meister to the plate. Big swing for Silva. He fouls it back over the rooftop, and that had plenty of momentum on it. You might see it hopping down Prince Street toward the south. Silva batting at 0-1 here. Lancaster turned a double play behind Albaladejo back in the 4th inning. Meister goes back to work, up and away. Ball one, strike one. They've gone to the bottom of the seventh now at TD Bank Park. The Patriots are still up 1-0. That is an intriguing race. 2-1 now as Meister is off the outside corner. New Britain started tonight within 4, but it's a tough haul for the Bees. They do play Somerset 5 times next week. It's just they've got to pass 3 other teams who seem unwilling to lose unless they play each other. Foul ball back. Meister reaches 92 on the gun for the first time. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Ruby Silva. Blackstone already on board here. Hobson is not holding him close to the bag. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. High inside fastball. Silva's gone on strikes. With 1 out, Frank Martinez the batter. Martinez is 0 for 3 with a run batted in.
Third baseman Frank Martinez.
1 out with a runner at first base, top of the 8th inning. Barnstormers trying to get out of a skid. Chopper toward first base. Hobson will handle. He's going to go to short 1, back to first. That is not in time to double up Martinez. The force out is 3-6. Ordinarily, you wouldn't want your first baseman necessarily to make the longer throw there and just make sure of the 1 out. But in this case, his momentum was taking him in the direction of second base. It was the easier play. 2 outs, runner at first. Here is Julio Ruiz. He is 0 for 3. The Meister pitch in for a strike called. It's 0-1. Sugarland, I am informed, has the tiebreaker against York in that race. So the magic number for the Skeeters is just 5, but they've had a devil of a time whittling that number down in recent days. They're on the verge of losing their 8th straight game, and York is playing very well. Well, the gap could be narrowed to 3 after tonight if those scores hold. Again, 8-3 High Point over Sugarland in the 5th, 9-5 York over New Britain in the 8th inning. 0-2, Meister to Julio Ruiz, and that is chopped towards second. Gamache with a short throw. Julio Ruiz is retired. Nice inning for Meister after the leadoff walk. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 man stranded. We're on our way to the bottom of the 8th inning. The Barnstormers are up big, 10-2.
Remove the wrong piece and the whole structure might fall apart. No, I'm not talking about the Barnstormers lineup. I'm talking about the life-size Jenga game that is part of the Subaru Outdoor Experience down the right field line at Clipper Magazine Stadium. There's ping pong, huge dice to roll, and more. Trivia contests take place before every Saturday home game. Group bookings are available, so enjoy the games while at the game and come to the Subaru Outdoor Experience just below the Broken Bat deck.
Hi, this is Hall of Famer Carlton Fisk. Make your plans today to visit Cooperstown and the Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum. Reconnect with your memories of the game and make new memories with your family. Check out baseballhall.org today for more information.
Carlton Fisk had a lot of little boy in him right there, Joe.
The National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum, preserving history, honoring excellence, and connecting generations.
Third pitcher in tonight for the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs, former Barnstormer Kevin Munson is now on. He'll be facing Turdoslavich, Hobson, and Bell, the 5, 6, and 7 hitters, as we go to the bottom half of the 8th inning. Munson is 1-1 in 9 appearances. His ERA is 3.72. He's given up 7 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned in 9 2/3 innings with 4 walks and 8 strikeouts. His first pitch is a strike on Turdoslavich, 0-1. Joe tonight is 1 for 4. He has scored a run, driven in 2. He's hit a double to right field back in the 3rd inning. Munson comes back. Turdoslavich gets sawed off, pops it up on the left side. This is up there a ways. It'll take some time for it to come down. Once it does, it's in the glove of Edwin Garcia. 1 out in the 8th. Casey Hobson steps in. 2 out of 4 for Hobson in the game tonight. Lancaster 10, Southern Maryland 2. And looks like Caleb Gindel is going to warm up for the top half of the 9th inning. To Hobson, a swing and a foul tip. It's 0-1. Gindel made the last out in the 7th inning. No, it's not likely that his turn at the plate would come up here in the 8th. Hobson, looper out the center, charging in is Vaughn. He's there, 2 outs. Munson has gotten the 2 outs on 3 pitches. Josh Bell will come in. All Bell has been able to do tonight is stand and look. He's taken a called 3rd strike, and he has walked 3 times. Just about every plate appearance, he's been at 3 balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs, nobody aboard in the bottom of the 8th inning. Lancaster 10, Southern Maryland 2. Vaughn, Valerio, and Griffin scheduled in the top of the 9th. And it does look like the Barnstormers' right fielder will be coming in to pitch. The designated hitter will be lost, and hopefully all of that is a moot point with a 10-2 lead. Ball 2 is inside on Bell. It's 2-0. Kevin Munson, right-hander, born in New Jersey, grew up in Virginia. We went through his hometown of Cave Spring on the way down to High Point, and now lives in the Phoenix, Arizona area. Strike on the outside corner. He just found it on Bell. 2-1. Kevin Munson working quickly. He comes back. Bell swings and misses. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lancaster did most of the damage tonight in the 3rd and 4th innings. A pair of 4-run frames against starter Michael Kelly. And a 2-2 to Bell is fouled at the dish. John Hayes worked 3 1/3. He gave up 2 hits and a run. He walked a pair and also struck out 2. Bell awaiting the pitch from Munson, 2-2. This is also skied. And again, it's Garcia taking charge. Munson gets 3 routine fly balls, 2 of them handled by the shortstop. 8th inning is in the books, nothing across for Lancaster. We'll go to the 9th. The Barnstormers leading 10-2.
Like craft beers? Well, the best place to be in Lancaster then is Clipper Magazine Stadium. That's right. Celebrate baseball or just a night with your friends at the Broken Bat Deck down the right field line. The Broken Bat features more than 20 local craft breweries and product from a local winery. Food is sold off a pub-style menu. And new for 2019, there will be a trivia contest every Saturday evening beginning at 5, hosted by Cheaters Never Prosper. So get together, hang out with your friends, make some new ones, and enjoy a night of craft beer sampling along with a Barnstormers game.
Tuxedo Tour and Travel. If you want to be there, we'll get you there. New York, Washington, D.C. We service all casinos, day trips, or multi-day excursions. Lebanon's #1 tour bus company, providing monthly casino trips. Sands of Bethlehem, Resort of Atlantic City, Mohegan Sun of Pocono Downs. Go to www.tuxedotour.com or give us a call, 717-269-3124.
Another opportunity to pitch for Caleb Gindel, a career outfielder, but wanting to take his turns on the mound when the games are not hotly contested. Lancaster with a 10-2 lead tonight. Gindel taking over. This is the 11th time he has appeared. He has finished 8 of his previous 10. 8 1/3 innings, 8 hits, 9 runs, 6 earned. He has walked 13 and struck out 9. Corey Vaughn will lead off the 9th against Gindel. The left-hander into his motion. First pitch is low. Ball 1-0. Christian Meister walked 1, struck out 1 in a scoreless 8th. He did not give up any base hits. Gindel back into the motion. He is down and away. It is 2-0 on Vaughn. I'm not sure that we anticipated seeing Caleb quite this often on the hill. The 2-ball pitch, high and outside, 3-0 now. The count on Corey Vaughn leading off here in the 9th inning. Fireworks to follow the game tomorrow, farm show night. The big tractor's already in position out in front of the stadium. Enjoy it with us here tomorrow night. 3-0 pitch across for a strike. Gindel took something off and spotted that in the zone. It is 3-1. Caleb ready to go. The pitch, Vaughn swings and misses. Ball darted away from him. Now 3-2. We'll be back on Blue Ridge 11 on Sunday for the series finale. I'll have to move booths again. Coming your way, dead center behind home plate tonight. Vaughn with a high drive out the left field. Back to the wall. Goes Shank. Shank leaping up against the wall. And the ball stays in play. Vaughn coming around second, racing for third. And he'll be in with a triple. The ball barely staying in play out the left. Runner at third, nobody out. Vaughn with his second triple of the season. And brings on the switch hitting catcher Charlie Valerio. He already owns 2 hits tonight. Vaughn just picking up his second. 6 total for the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. Vaughn hit that into the deep angle, well, not the deep left center angle, but the angle in the wall and left, and it goes out about 370 to that point. Popped up foul, out of play down the right field line. It is 0-1. If he hits that same ball at Regency Furniture Stadium, we're talking about it probably clearing the picnic tent. But here, an impressive triple to Valerio. The 0-1 is low. Ball 1 and strike 1. Lancaster needs 3 outs to pick up just win number 21 on the season. 1-1. Valerio hammers this down the left field line, but he's out in front of it. That is to the back of the hill and not fouled by all that much. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Gindel has given up a couple of very loud drives to left field here. 1-2. Ground ball third, and it hops away from Bell's possession, skipping over his glove out the left field, and that will make it 10-3 here in the 9th inning. That skipped over the glove of Josh Bell, and that'll be a base hit for Valerio, his third. Bell was getting there to make the play, and then the ball took what seemed to be an unnaturally high hop. John Griffin comes in. He's 0 for 3 and has scored a run. 10-3 is the score here in the top of the 9th. Gindel to the plate. He is far outside Ball 1 to Griffin. It's 1-0. Back-to-back hits have greeted Gindel here in the 9th inning. 1-0 on Griffin. The pitch is a strike at the knees. It is 1-1. Tony Thomas waits on deck. Infield set up at double play depth. Here comes the 1-1 off the inside part of the plate. It is ball 2 on Griffin, 2-1. Caleb Gindel looking for 3 outs here in the top of the 9th inning to conclude the evening. 2-1, lifted out the right field. Joe Turdoslavich, who took over out there for Gindel, settles underneath to make the catch. And now Gindel needs to retire only 2 more. Tony Thomas to the plate. He has walked twice and popped out to first base. Long Island has scored 3 times in the top half of the 8th inning off of Michael Broadway to take a 3-1 lead. And the Ducks look to go ahead by 1 in the Liberty Division race. That is a madhouse over there. Here's a pitch to Thomas. Swatted foul off to the right and into the screen. Valerio remaining the runner at first base, and the Barnstormers are paying him no attention whatsoever. Gindel sets. Here's the 0-1. His fastball is up. 1 ball, 1 strike to Thomas. Edwin Garcia, the shortstop, due next. Gindel comes set, brings it home. Ground ball slowly hit and foul up the third base line, right to our man Daisuke. It is 1-2. Always good to see Dice. The one-time Blue Crab outfielder who helped Lancaster out. There may be no second championship here to have been celebrated by the Barnstormers without Daisuke Yoshida's help. Breaking ball inside and low, 2-2. He was the man who worked with Butch Hobson to bring Yusuke Kajimoto and, of course, the star pitcher Shunsuke Watanabe over here. 2-2. Ground ball, shortstop. Could end the game. Martinez bobbles, goes to Gamache 1, and Lancaster loses the chance to end it. Thomas safe on the fielder's choice. The out 6-4, and Edwin Garcia gets a chance. Martinez not terribly happy with himself for not finishing off the night on that ground ball. He knocked it down. He stayed with it to get 1, so there's no error charge. But Michael also committed an error back in the 2nd inning on a ground ball by John Griffin that he charged and had roll up the arm. Garcia awaiting the pitch from Gindel. Caleb misses low. It is ball 1 and no strikes. But in theory, we should be done. We're not. Gindel needs to retire 1 more. 10-3 here in the top of the 9th inning. Caleb Gindel brings it home. Swing and a miss by Edwin Garcia. 1 ball and 1 strike. Friday night baseball here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. Lancaster leading by 7. The Barnstormers still, I don't believe, are done with the roster transitions heading toward the All-Star break. We're hurtling toward the All-Star break, and that's, for the first time in a few years, the dividing line between halves. We've got 9 games left after this one to get everything tuned up, and then early in the second half, the Barnstormers will be playing first-half games. One of those against the Southern Maryland team at Regency Furniture Stadium on July 12th, and you're going to probably see a lot of experimentation in that game between these two clubs. Gindel fires and it's fouled back. Caleb hitting up around 90 on the gun. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Southern Maryland down to that last strike here this evening. Lancaster will wrap up the first half against York here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. Fouled back. And I'm sure Barnstormers fans would like nothing more than to knock York out of the first half. And it could come down to that. And the Barnstormers fans would like nothing less than to see York celebrate a first-half title on this field. 1-2 is inside and low to Garcia, and we still have not brought this game to a conclusion. 2 big innings for the Barnstormers. 4 back-to-back innings, the third and the fourth. And this game has not really been close since. 2-2, Garcia drives it to right field. Hustling back is Terdoslavich. Joe with the catch, and the ball game is done. In the top of the ninth, 1 run, 2 hits, no errors. The Blue Crabs leave 1. On to tomorrow night, it's Davies, it's Thompson tomorrow. It's fireworks following the game. Join us, but we'll have the wrap-up show. The line totals coming first. Our final score, the Lancaster Barnstormers 10 and the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs 3.
Southern Maryland 3 runs, 7 hits, and 1 error. The win goes to Jonathan Albaladeo. He is now 1-3. The loss to Michael Kelly. He falls to 3-4. No home runs in the game.
Just like a baseball team needs pitchers, sluggers, relievers, and coaches to win games, a fire company needs firefighters, drivers, fire police officers, and administrative help to be successful. Fire companies need to function as a well-oiled team, and through training, preparing, working together like a team in an emergency, your local fire company responds to help save lives and property. It's time you stepped up to bat to hit a home run for your local Lancaster County Fire Company. Go to becomeafirefighter.org, sign up, and take a swing for the fences. Join the Lancaster County Fire Service team.
Enjoy baseball and stay in shape. The Lancaster Barnstormers have a great package for our more experienced fans to do both. The Silver Stormers package is open to all fans 55 and above. Get a ticket to all Tuesday home games. Take a walk around our beautiful stadium during the day on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And get a Silver Stormers t-shirt to sport to all of these events. The Silver Stormers is presented by A&E Audiology and Hearing Aid Center. Sign up today at the stadium or at LancasterBarnstormers.com.
Welcome back from Clipper Magazine Stadium. Lancaster takes down Southern Maryland 10-3 in the opener of a 3-game weekend series. For the Barnstormers, 10 runs, 11 hits, 1 error, 9 left. 3 runs on 6 hits with an error, and 6 runners left on base for the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. Jonathan Albaladejo making his return to the mound, his first appearance since back on May 7th. This one goes well. He is 1-3 with the win here tonight. The loss to Michael Kelly, who falls to 3-4. No save in the game, nor did we see a home run in the contest. It took 2 hours, 52 minutes to play. And the crowd tonight here in Lancaster, 45-38. And now can enjoy a performance on the field by the Circus School of Lancaster. These young folks are impressive. We have fire baton twirlers out there at the moment. The Barnstormers win 10-3. The wrap-up show comes your way next on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Nice all-around win for the Lancaster Barnstormers here tonight. A 10-3 victory over the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. Southern Maryland was able to strike first on a long double, a ground rule double, in fact, that hopped over the wall in the deepest right center field. Darian Sanford unable to catch up to that. Silva at second base with a ground rule double. He took third on a wild pitch from Jonathan Albaladejo and scored on a ground out from Frank Martinez. Lancaster was able to tie the game in the bottom of inning one on back-to-back walks to Darian Sanford and Michael Martinez. A balk sent the runners to second and third. And then after Dan Gamache went down looking, Caleb Gindel stepped in. And Gindel hit a line drive to second base. And the play handled by Kent Blackstone. He thought he saw an opportunity for a double play, but he threw high to Edwin Garcia, the ball getting into left field. Sanford scoring the run, and the Barnstormers were tied at 1. Southern Maryland would regain the lead in the top of the second inning. It all developed with 2 outs as John Griffin reached on a bobble by Michael Martinez. Then Tony Thomas walked, moving Griffin ahead to second. Edwin Garcia singled to left field. The throw to the plate just up the first base line. Parker Morin could not sweep the tag back around to get Griffin, and it made it 2-1. Thomas was picked off second to end the inning. The Barnstormers could not do anything in the bottom of the second, but then they took charge in the home half of the third inning. A 4-run frame. Darian Sanford walked to lead off the inning. Second time tonight he did that. Martinez singled to right, Dan Gamache singled to left, scoring Sanford, and that tied the game at 2. Runners were left at first and second with nobody out. Caleb Gindel lined to left for the first out, but Joe Terdoslavich and Casey Hobson each drove in a run. Terdoslavich with a double to right, and Hobson a single to right. The Barnstormers led 4-2. Terdoslavich would score on a wild pitch. Lancaster came out of the third inning leading by the 5-2 score, and then the Barnstormers turned right around and scored 4 again with the same 9 batters stepping in the fourth inning. This time Sanford led it off with a double. He stole third, came home on a double to center by Michael Martinez over the head of Corey Vaughn. Dan Gamache reached on an infield single off the glove of the shortstop Garcia. Caleb Gindel scooted a ground ball through the left side for an RBI base hit and a 7-2 lead. A wild pitch would again score a run. Joe Terdoslavich had also grounded out to first base, driving in a run. Caleb Gindel eventually scoring from third on the second Michael Kelly wild pitch. Parker Morin doubled in a run in the 6th inning. Charlie Valerio singled in a run in the 9th inning as the catchers had very productive nights at the plate on both sides. The 2 receivers combined were 5 out of 7 in the ball game with a double, a couple of runs batted in, and the outs were impressively hit as well from both Valerio and Morin. Lancaster wins tonight by a final score of 10-3 over the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. taking a look at those other games around the Atlantic League, and the races are becoming fascinating. It is over at York. The Revs, behind Duke van Schamen, defeat the New Britain Bees 9-5. That puts a dent in New Britain's plans to catch up, but York has done its job tonight. Meanwhile, they're through 6 down at Sugarland. The High Point Rockers own an 8-3 lead over the Sugarland Skeeters. If High Point holds on there, Sugarland will have lost its 8th in a row. They'll be down to 500. The lead over York will be reduced to merely 3 games, with 8 remaining on the schedule for both clubs. Again, Sugarland does have the tiebreaker, so the magic number for the Skeeters is 5, but it does not look like it will drop tonight. At TD Bank Park in Somerset, the Long Island Ducks lead 3-1. In the top of the 9th inning, the Ducks trying to get 1 game back ahead of the Somerset Patriots and the High Point Rockers in the Liberty Division chase. It is a wild 4-way scrum over in the Liberty. The Baltimore Orioles slam the Cleveland Indians tonight, 13-0 the final score. Toronto has defeated Kansas City 6-2. They're in the bottom of the 9th at Citi Field. The Atlanta Braves own a 6-2 lead over the host New York Mets. Cincinnati's up 6-3 over the Cubs. They're in the 8th. The Phillies have fallen at Miami tonight. The final score down there was 6-2 in favor of the Fish. Going to the bottom of the 9th in Detroit tonight, Washington owns a 3-1 lead over the host Tigers. Texas, behind Lance Lynn, shuts out Tampa Bay 5-0. It is still 1-0 Seattle over the skidding Houston Astros. Play is in the 7th inning down in Texas. Milwaukee up 2-1 over the Pittsburgh Pirates. Play is in the top of the 7th inning. The Chicago White Sox have jumped ahead 4-2 over the Minnesota Twins. They are in the 7th inning in Chi-Town. The Los Angeles Dodgers own a 5-2 lead rather in the 5th inning at Colorado. And still to come tonight, Oakland in Anaheim against the Angels, St. Louis at San Diego, and Arizona is at San Francisco. The Lancaster Barnstormers grab the opener of the 3-game weekend series against the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs by a final score of 10-3. Lancaster back in 3rd place in the Freedom Division, with the victory here tonight, only the 3rd in the last 16 games for the Barnstormers. But tonight, a good night for Lancaster. I'll try and extend the winning streak tomorrow as Kyle Davies will be making the start against Darrell Thompson, one of the best pitched games we've seen in a long time. The last time they met, that was back on Sunday, June 2. The Barnstormers won that game by a final score of 3-1. Davies is 4-4 on the year. Thompson is 4-6. It's a 6:30 Saturday night game with fireworks to follow. It is Farm Show night at Clipper Magazine Stadium. That will do it for us here this evening. Now for our assistants, James Murray and Joey Greer, for all the cast and crew here at Clipper Magazine Stadium, I'm Dave Collins. Have a great evening, everyone, and come tomorrow, we'll see you at the ballpark.